Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tales on Tap. If it's your first time here, welcome. Welcome into this wonderful menagerie of mishaps and misfits. I hope that you are all doing well. Thank you so much for joining us for what is the launch of Campaign 2, Aerilon, A Destined Journey. It means the world to us for you guys being here with us this evening and sharing in this adventure with us. We are starting afresh. We are starting anew with brand new characters, a brand new world, and a brand new adventure. Honestly, the nerves have settled, guys. We're in. We're doing it. We're all here. We're ready. If you're
for yourself.
If you're wondering what that noise is, let me introduce you to our wonderful players. So, joining us this evening, we have this marvelous group of individuals.
We're back!
Everyone is back. Everyone is back. So if you are new joining us, I think it's probably best that I introduce you to these wonderful folks sitting around our table, as we are about to dive into what is going to be probably the best campaign I've ever written, I will say. But enough about me and more about you folk. So joining us, and we're going to go in order, as you can see. So we're going to go from top left across and then to the bottom. So it is you. So joining us is Han. Han,
Hello.
Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Sure. I'm Han. My pronouns are they, she. I am from the northwest of England, even though I don't sound like it. I occasionally do. And yeah, I previously on Tales on Tap played Ash, the Air Genasi monk, who was a bit brash, in for a change. And I'm excited.
Nice. Very good. Hey, Han.
Yeah.
What's
special question?
What's your favorite?
Questions.
What's your favorite D&D memory?
Memory.
Mm.
Ooh. Favorite D&D memory. I think. Oh god, that's difficult.
The clock is ticking, mate. Anytime, whenever you're ready.
Okay, honestly, it's the dream sequence. So in the last campaign, Ash got thrust into a dream sequence where she was chosen to be the champion of the Stormlord, and it was this epic one-on-one kind of roleplay moment, and then everyone else was playing these creatures I had to fight, and it just felt so epic and like such a main character little moment. I was like, oh my god, I'm the main character. I love this.
Very good, amazing.
I'm them.
And also joining us this evening is Evan. Evan, would you please introduce yourself to the fine folk at home?
Okay. Hello, guys. My name's Evan. What else do I say, Dan?
Whatever you
Do I say
want.
anything else?
It's all on you, brother.
I'm the child of the group.
Just a baby.
In
He's
game
just
and
a
out of game.
baby. He's just a little guy.
And yeah, pronouns he, him.
From?
I'm from Sweden, so I'm also the only other person that's from the EU, technically.
Very good.
Wow, way to rub it in, dude.
Yeah,
Wait,
nice.
about him.
Jesus.
You guys chose it. You guys
Hey,
chose
No,
it.
you're
Let's
lucky
not
you're
go there,
still
let's
in
not go
the
there.
Anyway, hey, Evan, what is, in your opinion, the most terrifying D&D monster that you've come across?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That I've come across. That's a hard one.
Well, if they were easy, they wouldn't be Dan's special questions now, would they?
Dan's special questions.
I know you
Special
have that.
questions.
I think I would have to say. I think I would have to say the Blight Dragon. The Blight Dragon is
Oh
probably.
yeah, that was nasty.
Yeah.
If we're not counting intellect devourers, because I fucking hate them and I'm traumatized. But Blight Dragon.
Hey,
Blight Dragon.
Chris is there just immediately twitching in the corner.
Both Chris and I. No.
Amazing. Thank you so much, and welcome to the table, Evan, and you also,
Thank
Han.
you.
Thanks.
So, Natalie, hello.
Hi.
Hi. Why don't you tell the people at home all about the world of Natalie?
In the world of Natalie.
Natalie's world.
Jesus. I live in Northern Ireland, so still part of the EU. Yeah, I've been playing with these guys for too long now. And
Wow.
they're my
Doors
forever
over there, man.
group.
Doors
She's
over
about
there.
to switch groups any second.
I'm fairly new to D&D. I think I'm newer than some of these guys here, but I'm not a newbie by any means. I played Hallie and Feathers, R.I.P., in the last campaign.
Going out.
So hopefully I make it through this campaign with one character. That's my goal. My goal is to make it through with one character.
Not to die. I love that. Hey, Natalie.
Yeah.
Dan's special question. Special question.
Could you tell me what is your favorite D&D class to play?
Oh, see, that's easy for me. It's Druid. I absolutely love. It kind of feeds into the hippie side of me. I think the sort of hippie that I wanted to be but could never pull off. So yeah, I know I'm gonna get flack for this, but the wild shape element definitely like it feeds into my soul.
Amazing.
Not beating the furry allegations here.
It is, dude.
Thank you so much, Natalie, and welcome to the table. Hey, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Hi. How
Hi.
are you?
Oh God.
I'm just fantastic.
Wonderful. Why don't you tell the good people at home a little bit about yourself?
So I'm the other Dan now. I've been relegated back to my normal spot as player. Don't do that to me again. I'm from the south originally, but now I live in the Midlands, unfortunately. He, they. And I've been playing enough D&D to know that I can survive here. And they want me.
Yeah.
And yeah, in the last campaign, I used to be Jove, and I'm very much moving away from what that was.
You don't say.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hey, Dan.
Yeah, Dan.
Dan's special questions for Dan. Special questions.
Dan, why don't you tell me what is your favorite spell in D&D and why?
Favorite spell? Oh, and I'm playing a spellcaster. This is going to be a tough one. All right, favorite spell, I think, just because of versatility of things I think I'm going to be able to do with it. I'm going to say Mage Hand, just for the time being.
Interesting.
I think being able to have a little hand running around doing what you want is very useful.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Dan, and welcome to the table.
Thanks, Dan.
And certainly not least of all, but certainly last, Chris. Hello, my good friend. How are you?
Dan, I'm pretty well. How are you, mate?
Yeah, very good. Chris, why don't you tell the good people at home all about yourself, please?
Okay, well, I'm Chris. I'm from south of England, Brighton specifically. I've been playing D&D for, I don't know, maybe about 7 or 8 years now, mostly online, though I started out with an in-person group where I was the DM, and then found these lovely people through a series of games started and ended, and we all ended up coming together, and this is easily the best game I've ever played in. It's wonderful. Other than that, I tend to play kind of wild cardy type characters. Everyone's nodding. I don't know whether to take that as a compliment, but it is intentional.
You yodeled through the last campaign, dude.
That's true. And I just love having fun with this game, and so expect some shenanigans.
Amazing. Thank you.
Oh, we do.
Hey,
we do.
Chris.
Yes,
Special questions.
Chris, can you tell me about your most memorable RP moment in a game of D&D, please?
So there's a bit that I keep coming back to, and actually, not an intentional plug because I didn't know this question was coming, but you can see a clip of it on our Instagram. It's a bit I always come back to, and it's a weird. There's been so many amazing RP moments in this campaign. Really deep emotional stuff, really like serious. Like I've seen some of these guys shout at each other, and you know, we're all friends at the end of it. But the amount of passion that everyone puts into the RP is amazing. But there's just this one little moment, and it's between Clovis and Jove, and it's not even the main conversation that's happening at the time. It's just a little side conversation that Jove and Clovis were having about like a plan that Clovis had that he thought went perfectly well, but Jove was saying no, that was a disaster, basically. And I just come back to that because the thing I love about D&D is those little moments, those little things where you're just kind of having a natural conversation with someone in these characters, and it's like hanging out with friends that you have, but also other friends you have. It's those little moments. So amazing. I'd say probably that. Go check it out on our Instagram. It's really funny.
Amazing. And thank you so much for that. And Chris, welcome back to the table, my friend.
Welcome back to you too, Dan.
Thank you. And thank you for rounding that off. So my name is Dan. I am the resident dungeon master here at Tales on Tap. Though the other players do step into that foyer, or is that the right word, foyer?
No.
Whatever.
Don't ask
they
me.
step
I'm
into the
Swedish.
seat, and every now and again, but I am the resident DM here at Tales on Tap. I have been playing Dungeons and Dragons now for, do you know, guys, it's just short of 5 years. Just short of 5 years. This game has well and truly taken over my life. I started off as a very green in the gills player, and very much realized that my calling was in the DM seat, as most of these guys will tell you. But this game means more to me than most things in life. It is my biggest hobby. It is my biggest passion. And I love the ability of being able to sit with my good friends here at the table and tell stories. And I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much, everyone that's joining us. I can see that we're currently sat at just under 20 viewers, which is incredible.
Good.
I want to say thank you to everyone who has been with us through Campaign 1, joining us back in tonight, and welcome in all the new faces. We are Tales on Tap, and it is our job to sit here weekly and play D&D for your enjoyment. Now, what happens during that time, you may ask? Well, a whole host of things. We tell stories, we have epic roleplay, there is combat involved, there is heartbreak, tears, and more. So thank you. And you're in for one hell of a treat. But enough about us, because this next little announcement is all about you. Because for right now, and starting today, we are launching our biggest giveaway ever. Now, if you are on our social media, which Evan will tell you a little bit more about in just a moment, you may have already seen this post. So starting today and running right up until the 19th of December, so 4 weeks, we are running our biggest giveaway ever. Now, all you have to do to be in with a chance of winning some prizes is subscribe. That's all you have to do, is just subscribe. There's a little purple button down below. Just click that. Now, in a good month, when Twitch is running some like mad promotion, it can cost you $3.99. It can cost £5. It's not a lot, but to some people it is. And we understand that. You don't have to subscribe to be here weekly with us to watch. Just coming and watching us and enjoying in these adventures with us is enough for us. However, if you do want to subscribe, this month would be the month to do it, because we are giving away some incredible prizes. We have been gifted some truly amazing things by our sponsors, which we will tell you about in just a moment. But there is adventure modules, multiple adventure modules, that have been kindly given to us by our good sponsor, Awfully Queer Heroes. Oh. There are dice on offer. There are map packs on offer. And there is one big prize. Because all of you folk at home, I'm sure, are D&D fans, players and DMs, and TTRPG fans like us. One special entrant and one special winner of this giveaway is going to be in with a chance of winning a seat at our table. Not only to play with a couple of people from Tales on Tap, but in a collaborative one-shot with other members of the D&D and TTRPG communities. All you have to do is subscribe. Just press that little button down below. If you can't afford to, but you already paid for a subscription for Amazon Prime, you can connect your account to your Twitch account to get 1 free subscription a month. If you're not going to do that now, then I have no idea what else we can offer you to make you do that. Because it's a free subscription, essentially. We are, I mean, because of the Twitch terms of service, we don't barely get a cut of like the Amazon Prime ones. It's like minuscule to us, but that's not important. What is important is you still get an entry into the giveaway. And that's important. So make sure you subscribe to be in for a chance to win some amazing prizes. We are going to be doing a live draw on the 19th of December during our live show right at the beginning, where we draw lots of all the subscribers that do subscribe between now and then. So make sure you subscribe. We will make sure that every single week when we get those subscribers, we make a note of them and everyone goes into a prize draw. It's going to be a random generator that we pull up from Google. We'll show it. We'll be completely transparent. It'll be a spin the wheel type game. And then whoever it lands on wins. It's as simple as that. But it's not just one person that wins. Oh, no, no. Typically when we do giveaways, 3 people win. This time, we're giving away enough prizes for 6 people. We are doubling the amount of winners. So, hey, look, if 6 people subscribe between now and then, you're in for a treat. But make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. But we do have some other really important announcements to get through. And typically this is the part of the show where I waffle on for a little while and you guys kind of go off and make cups of tea and get yourselves drinks, go to the toilet because you know, hey, the game's not starting soon. But don't go anywhere because it's not me giving the announcements this time. Oh, no, no. We changed the game up. It's a new campaign. It's a new structure. All new things. This is what you're here for, guys. So, first things that we want to talk about are some of our amazing sponsors. We have announced that we are sponsored by some brand new people for this brand new campaign. So to tell us about our long-standing trusted sponsor, Natalie, can you tell the good people at home about our long-standing good sponsor?
I certainly can. So we want to give a shout out and a big thank you to our original and our long-term sponsor, which is Valkyrie RPG, which is Valkyrie-RPG.
That's right.
You can head over there for dice, which are gorgeous. I'm a dice goblin. You're a dice goblin. 100%. Apparel, terrain pieces, like accessories. They do it all, and they sponsor us from day one. And yeah. Head over there, lovely people. We got to meet them in person and couldn't ask for more. You can also get 10% off when you use our Tales on Tap 10. Is that correct?
Tales 10.
No, Tales 10. Sorry.
So close. Tales 10.
Check out and as a discount code. It doesn't work on subscription boxes as they are heavily discounted already, but very worth the purchase anyway. But yeah, check them out.
Amazing, thank you. Han, I believe you've got a bit of an announcement tonight, right?
I do, because we are now also being sponsored by Awfully Queer Heroes. 2 amazing individuals who we had the pleasure of meeting at UK Games Expo earlier this year. And basically they create LGBTQ+ and access-friendly modules, spell books, all plethora of kind of things to enhance your adventures. There are access-friendly battle maps, new spells they've created. One particular favourite of mine that I'm just going to mention is a little kind of body mod camp trip, which for those of you who suffer from gender dysphoria, it is a very cool one to check out, so be sure to have a look over there. But their Kickstarter for Tower of the Mind is now fully funded, and if you want to hear more about what we think of that, we did a little sneak peek review that is on our YouTube channel, so be sure to head over and check that out. It looks so cool, so customizable, and so fun, so highly recommend you go check them out. And you can also look at their other modules on Drive-Thru RPG. Just Google them, they'll come up. But they are amazing people who deserve all the support in the world, and cannot thank them more for backing us through this campaign too.
Amazing. Thank you. And if you are too lazy to Google, just head down in the About section. There's panels, click the banners, and it'll take you straight to their stuff. We do also have another sponsor, but they shall remain a mystery until maybe some point later on. But I am hearing you loud and clear, people at home, like, come on, guys, we want to play some D&D, but just wait a moment, because we have more important things to tell you.
There's nothing more important than D&D.
We have been loud and proud all over social medias, and here to tell you all about that, Evan, if you wouldn't mind.
Of course, Dan. So, social medias, we are on basically everything. We are on Twitter. I'm still calling it Twitter. Elon Musk, screw you. It's Twitter. We are on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We're on everything. Not Threads, but we might be. Who knows? Might have some extra time on my hands. And if that wasn't enough, we also have our own Discord channel for our amazing community, where we will be posting loads of updates, just like we do on social media. So if you want to keep up to date, head down to the banners down below and go and follow us there and check out what's coming up next. We've been working endlessly to ensure that you know the latest and hottest things that we are up to. So keep following us and we'll promise to push out even more.
That made it sound like we
have
have
a shout out to Evan for
massive, man.
taking this on, because you are slaying the game.
Also made it definitely sound like we have an OnlyFans, but we don't. All the hottest things that we do.
Yes.
But talking...
Chris and I are planning things.
Exactly. But listen, talking about keeping up to date with everything that is coming up in the future, Chris, why don't you tell us what's around the corner?
There are a few things around the corner, Dan, so let me take you through those.
OnlyFans.
Soon. You'll be able to go onto the link on our Instagram description. So there's a few things coming up. You are right. Obviously, there's the very special one shot that you mentioned that is linked to the giveaway, where we'll be collaborating with some other potentially familiar faces in the D&D tabletop Twitch community and farther afield. More on that will be on our socials, as Evan mentioned before, in due course. There's also something very special coming up on Christmas, which you can look forward to. You know, that one thing about Christmas, if you're a D&D addict, is everyone's with their families. No one's got time to gather around their laptops or come around and gather around a pizza to play D&D on Christmas Day. But hey, don't worry about it. We've got you covered. And then finally, not only that, but you'll also soon be able to listen to Tales on Tap in podcast form. And that will be available anywhere that you listen to podcasts. But there's been a few requests for that for people who, you know, don't have the time to focus on the TV for 3.5 to 4 hours, or if they've got long commutes or want something to do while they're working. There will be that option for you coming in the near future. But the main event that's just around the corner, very close around the corner, is the beginning of the campaign 2. Is that right, Dan?
That is exactly right, Chris.
Nice segue.
I love that. So before we dive into Aerilon, A Destined Journey, I do have one special announcement to make. So one of our beautiful viewers who is currently in chat right now is a very good friend of ours, the okayest GM, otherwise known as Maiko. I apologize if I pronounced that wrong in the thing. But they also have a channel, and if you're sat there tonight going, oh, this is exactly what I planned for this evening, but I've got nothing to do tomorrow, well, fear not, my friends. Tomorrow, if you go over to twitch.tv/Wanderers Haven, there is a very special one-shot called Crimson Sails. Ooh. It is a 2-part one-shot that is launching on Wanderers Haven's Twitch channel, and it is an Ystera 2-shot DM'd by the okayest GM. So make sure tomorrow at 9 PM Eastern Standard Time, make sure you go over to that Twitch channel. Show them all the love and support that you've shown us this evening. Go and watch that, because it is proving to be, from what I was told during our little one-on-one little Discord conversation, it's gonna be insane. So make sure you go and watch that. Please do, and go and show as much love and support as you can for Wanderer's Haven as you do with us. Guys, I think that's it. Shall we play some D&D?
Yes.
Oh,
Let's play some D&D.
Let's go.
So,
Can we please?
thank you so much for sitting through all those announcements. If you haven't already gone and got a drink, it's too late. You've run out of time at this point, because we're about to dive into tonight's episode of Tales on Tap. Let's go!
Go.
Go!
Aerilon. A world steeped in magic, teeming with mythical creatures, and brimming with untold mysteries and stories. In the shadows of towering citadels and across sprawling landscapes, ancient tales and prophecies unfold as threads of destiny. Aerilon is a world where the arcane dances with the mundane, where technology and technological advances push forward civilizations into a new era. Our adventure, and the start of our adventure, is in one such city. The city of Windmere, on the Isle of Skyhaven. The city of Windmere has had quite a tumultuous history. Once ruled by a vindictive baron who set himself above the rest of society. There was an uprising of free folk who sought to overthrow his tyrannical rule, and they succeeded. Windmere has spent the last 20 plus years in peace and prosperity. And now, bustling metropolis of trade and commerce. A destination for travellers beyond. For Aerilon is not just an island-bound continent, but a sprawling landscape of floating islands hanging in the skies above a long-forgotten realm. Our adventure starts in Windmere on a fateful day. The streets are filled with individuals, going about their lives to and from the marketplace, shops, taverns, and their own abodes. The hustle and bustle reaches through every crack and crevice of this ginormous cityscape. As we zoom in on the middle city of Windmere, on one thoroughfare, we see a cart, a horse-drawn cart, clattering across the cobblestone road. And in and around the city, we all hear the following.
Good evening, Skyhaven. I'm Felicity Clearwater, and here are your top stories for today. Our first story is a troubling one. Windermere is in the grips of a new and dangerous drug epidemic. A drug known as Flux, this illicit substance has taken the city by storm. Reports are flooding in of people who have overdosed on Flux, experiencing terrifying side effects. Those who have succumbed to its effects are said to go on uncontrollable rampages, exhibiting extreme aggression and violence. The city's hospitals and emergency services are on high alert, but are struggling to cope with the increasing number of overdose cases. The Skyhaven Bureau of Crime have launched a crackdown on the drugs distribution networks, but the battle against Flux rages on. Skyhaven residents are urged to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activity to the authorities. Our second story today, 6 dangerous criminals in Windermere are being transported to the Tribunal Hall this evening for their sentencing. The group responsible for a string of heinous crimes that have shaken our community includes murderers, kidnappers, and other violent offenders. The tribunal is expected to deliberate today on their fate, with 2 possible outcomes on the table: life imprisonment or the death penalty. This high-stakes decision marks a crucial moment for our justice system, as the city grapples with maintaining law and order. Skyhaven citizens will be closely following this case, hoping for justice to prevail and for our streets to become safer. That's all for today's headlines. We'll continue to keep you updated on these developing stories as they unfold. Stay tuned to Skyhaven News for all the latest updates. I'm Felicity Clearwater, and thank you for joining us.
As we zoom in on the horse-drawn cart, you, dear players, find your characters manacled and chained to the benches within. Woolen hoods over your heads, distorting and effectively rendering you blind to the outside world. But that does not mean that you do not perceive the outside world, because this announcement you can hear as the cart through the streets, as you feel the balance and the shift. And all of a sudden, it stops and halts to a stop. I'd like you all to make me perception checks, please.
First roll!
Ooh, but in fact, before we do that, because I fucking wrote this in big letters and I still forgot about it.
I was about to say.
I need everybody to roll me a d20 first, please, because I'm going to find out who is going to be recapping next week.
Natural 20.
It's not you, Han.
12.
14.
13.
Oh, shit. Save me, Natalie.
10.
10.
Yeah!
Natalie, could you please make some notes this evening, because you will be recapping for us next week. Thank you. Perception checks, everybody, please.
Okay. Surprisingly okay.
That's a big 12.
This is fun.
13.
12? 13? 15?
18.
18?
I got a nat 1, but I can re-roll that because of what I
am. Because I'm me.
Because I say so.
Okay, Evan, what was your reroll, please?
21.
21. Okay, so you all feel the... and you all shift to the right-hand side inside the cart, and it hurts. Like, most of you, like... I would say, because of where you're placed, Liana and Virgil, you two will feel the manacles and the chains around your wrist kind of like pull taut and kind of almost hurt around the wrists. But you all hear outside, what are you doing? And silence from that individual, and you hear another voice going, quick! You better be quick! Get in there now! Quick! Open the door! And as the door swings open, Liana, the hood gets dragged off your head. The light from the outside kind of stings a little bit, but in front of you is a hooded individual with a kind of soft brown beard, and looks in the kind of a few scars and pot marks on the face, kind of look and go, oh, wrong one, and pulls the hood off you, Virgil. And as the hood gets pulled off you, Virgil, Liana, you would see Virgil for the first time. So, Dan, could you please describe your character, please?
Okay, so sat bound in front of you is a sort of stonish, light stony grey skinned individual. Quite tall, quite not rotund, but pear-shaped. There's definitely some thickness and girth to them as they sort of sit in front of you. There's really sort of what looked like it was once quite nice sort of all blue jumpsuit. It kind of, there doesn't seem to be a differential between what is pants and what is shirt. It runs down to these very large black boots that have sort of metal plating run down the front where the buckles are. Sleeves are sort of white and blue stripes, the sort of gold filigree around the edges. His collar has this purple, like dark purple and light purple striping in with two gold clasps on the end. Leather harness sort of around the shoulders and through the middle. They have sort of darkish black freckles, sort of patterns across the cheeks. Deep brown eyes, sort of pointed ears, what would remain of any sort of jewelry that begin into just hoops, studs, that kind of thing, and sort of aquamarine, bluish hair that's sort of tousled and ruffled about. It looked like it sat properly once, but doesn't anymore. And very, very uncomfortable looking, slightly smeared in what looked like was good makeup at one point, but isn't quite there anymore. Sort of, you know, it's been smeared where he's been moved across.
Wonderful, thank you. And could you tell us what race and class you're playing, please?
Yes, so he is an Earth Genasi, and I am playing a wizard.
Wonderful, thank you. And as Virgil, you kind of get the bag ripped off and you see this hooded individual go, nope, not you, and starts like moving through to the next two people to your right. You kind of look across, and for the first time you see the character that Natalie is playing. Natalie, please could you describe your character?
Of course. You see, not just tall, she is very tall. In fact, she is 6'8". Woo! Creature. She looks more creature than humanoid, as this white furred Leonin. I've been corrected. I've been always saying Leonin, but apparently it's Leonin. Lass sits with very tousled white mane. She has a braid that comes down from behind where her ear would be, comes down. She has some scars you can see quite evidently on her arms. But apart from that, she is wearing just a simple, like dark blue, almost black, like crop top that is fur fur along the top and shoulders, and she's wearing sort of like capri pants that are quite tight to her form, with a belt. She is sitting very uncomfortably in this small carriage. She's hunched over because it's too short. So you can't properly see her face, but so yeah, it's just this big lion-looking thing beside you, probably taking up too much room for your liking.
Amazing. And could you tell us what race and class you are playing?
So I'm playing a Leonin, and I am also playing a barbarian.
Amazing. Thank you. As you two kind of like
barbarian
catch each other's eyes, this hooded individual kind of like scoots through and pulls the cloth off the next two individuals. Timothy and Kyriatos, you pull, the cloth gets pulled off of your eyes, and you kind of like see this Leonin and this Earth Genasi next to you and kind of meet each other's eyes. Kyria. like you to please describe for me what Timothy would see and what the other individuals would see.
So the bag being pulled gets caught on some slightly corkscrewed horns protruding from their head, and you see an individual who looks to be in their mid-20s, quite androgynous looking, has extremely pale blue eyes, and you notice that I think this is the source of all of the natter that I've been hearing this entire journey, because they have not shut up. They have several facial piercings, namely like a nostril piercing, dimple piercings, sylvan runic tattoos all over their head and their neck, and you see some poking on their arms as well. They've got like a shaggy, soft brown mullet / wolf cut going that kind of drapes around their horns and also just over their caprine ears. There's also like 2 pastel pink little rat tail plaits poking from beneath their ears as well. Their horns are adorned in what look to be now very tattered ribbons, and you can see, similar to Virgil, what would have been a full beat of makeup is now looking very worse for wear. What should be an extremely bright, like white ruffled blouse is kind of sullied with dirt and mud, and it's kind of tucked into almost like a corset belt, which itself is a harness with various little toggles and clasps where you assume things would hook onto. But they have some very ornate braces, which are like slightly skewiff, that clearly they take the most pride in. Like they are like a deep maroon color with gold filigree lacing up them. You see that the blouse itself is tucked into the harness. There are no trousers, just some thick gams.
Could you tell us why that would be by telling us what class and what race you are playing?
Yeah,
let's go.
Nice.
And what class are you playing?
I am playing a bard.
Wonderful. And as you kind of like get the bag kind of pulled in, it almost like rips off the horns, and you kind of like kind of get pulled to the side a little bit. You notice, first of all, you notice obviously across from you diagonally is Virgil, kind of like at this point coming around, but you also see it directly across you, this other individual. Timothy, could you please describe for me your character?
Right, so you see, for just a brief second, you see a young halfling standing barely 3 feet tall, if even 3 feet tall, with tanned skin, sort of a sandy brown hair with quite short with cut sides, a small little button nose that's slightly sunburnt, and freckles covering his cheeks, as well as it's called dimples, right?
Yes.
What the sort of dimples
like these
where
things.
where usually a big jovial smile would be, but now it's just nervous looking face, and as soon as you see meet his gaze, he instantly looks down, and as soon as he sees Virgil and Liana, he cowers.
Little baby.
And would you mind telling me what race and class you are playing, please?
Timothy's a halfling druid.
Oh, amazing. Thank you. And the individual that's hooded and kind of cloaked kind of like pulls the bags up and goes, no, and just scuttles through right to the back of the carriage at this point and pulls the other 2 bags off the other 2 individuals. There is only 6 of you in the back of this cart, and one bag gets taken off, and it is this kind of older human individual with like grey hair, just kind of in a friar tuck cut, looks really kind of like weathered, lots of wrinkles, kind of really disheveled clothing, and he goes, no, last but lucky, come on, and pulls the hood off the last individual. And as the bag gets pulled off of your head, Edivir, you see a cart full of individuals and this hooded individual in front of you who greets you with a smile and almost a relieved look on their face and goes, "Oh, thank the gods." And as you all take in the last individual, Chris, could you please describe your character, please?
So what you see as the hood comes off is a fairly young human male, with kind of a high cut, almost sort of Viking cut, whereas the sides of his head are sort of shaved but a little bit grown out, and then the rest of his hair is sort of now sweeping over one side of his face. It's a bright blonde, but a dirty blonde, and in fact his skin looks at the moment kind of almost like sweaty and dirty, and also like a little bit sunburnt, you know, and he kind of looks up at this person. He's got a little bit of a blonde goatee as well, various small tattoos over his body that you can't really make out, but they all just seem to be very simple sigils and marks. Some of them are just a series of letters in various languages that you may or may not understand, and he's at the moment very sparsely dressed. He's just got a very dirty linen shirt and sort of a waistcloth on at the moment. He looks like he's had a really rough few days. He looks like he's been somewhere not good, and he sort of looks up through one eye at the person who's torn his hood off.
Amazing. And just to round this out, could you please tell me what race and class you are playing, please?
I am playing a human rogue.
Amazing. This individual looks at you, Edivir, with this look of relief and goes, "Oh, thought we weren't going to make it," and just leans behind you and starts like messing with your manacles. But all of you, as your eyes are like looking around here, hear a very distinct noise. Not only do you hear the individual outside going, "Come on, hurry up, we don't have much time," you hear the sound of a distant whistle.
Uh-oh.
And as... Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry.
Thanks, Luke.
Oh, no, that's the wrong one. There we go. That's the right one. There we go. And as this whistle sounds, the individual next to you, Edivir, kind of like comes back a little bit and goes, "Damn, we might be too late." And you feel the manacles kind of like drop and your hands become loose. They hand you effectively what is a lockpick and goes, "We're gonna need all the help we can get. Help the others." And turns and starts and just leans next to you, Kyria, and starts unbuckling your manacles.
I'm gonna like look around the rest of them and then look to this cowering little boy, and sort of a curious look comes across my face, and I urgently run down and start unlocking the little kids. What I perceive to be a little kid at this point.
I'm shivering like a chihuahua.
Yeah. Amazing.
I'm like there just going.
And you'll hear just in your sort of over your shoulder as he sort of kneels down to get to your manacles, you'll just hear, "Stay still."
Hi.
Amazing. Edivir, could you make me a general dexterity check, please? And if you are proficient with a tools kit, you can add your proficiency bonus to that. Kyriatos, you feel the manacles drop onto, and you hear it when it clangs on the bench behind you, and your kind of like wrists feel at ease as you bring your hands, and he goes, "Don't go anywhere just yet." And he starts moving across, and you kind of see him start to approach you, Liana, and kind of like goes to like lean in and looks at you and just goes, "Easy now." And
Just remove them.
leans behind you and unclips, and as he starts to do so, Edivir, what did you roll? Sorry?
22.
22. Pimothy, you feel the manacles drop off your hands, and your wrists become free. And as they do, the individual who starts unlocking your manacles, Liana, turns and goes, "We haven't got much time, guys. Bad folk are on the way, and you are not going to like what happens next. Ready yourselves."
Can I quickly look? Which way are they coming? Like, which way is the sound coming from?
It's all around. You can hear it all around. It's almost like the alarm has been raised.
I'll move on and,
are we going anywhere?
Yes, and quickly, but we might need to deal with some folk first.
Okay, where?
And
just,
as
Edivir turns back to the kid and just says, "Just stay down."
And
hey, how about you stick with me?
And then I'll move on to
you stick
Virgil.
With me. We'll be fine.
Make me another dexterity check, please, Edivir. The manacles drop from you, Liana, and as he does, he goes, "Whoa, now!" And he pulls a satchel off his shoulder and drops it onto the floor, and he goes, "Grab what you need. Things are about to get tough."
Instantly look through the back.
Okay.
That was only an 11.
An 11 is fine because 10 is what you needed. You click and the manacles drop off your wrists, Virgil. The individual at the back of the cart kind of goes, Hey, you're not going to leave me here, are you? Come on now. Oh, come on, let me go.
Can you hold a weapon?
Oh, yeah, I can. Yeah, you give me a weapon and I'll stand by you.
Insight check.
Roll me an insight check.
Anyone is looking towards Liana and the bag will notice for the first time she has quite large paw-like hands that have really large black painted talons. And she is...
Talons?
Nice.
Well, they're very large cat nails, so they're almost talon-like as she is.
I also need a really quick wee. This was the worst timed wee in the world.
Also, as Kiria's hands are freed, you see adorning every finger multiple little bits of string tied in a knot. String, ribbon, everything just littering their fingers. And they're beginning to like fray a bit, and they're just like, okay, I can deal with that later. Hey, you, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be absolutely fine. We're just gonna get out of here. They were taking us to a bad place. We'll be fine.
As a
these fuckers let you keep your stuff.
It's string on my fingers. That's the only thing here.
Yeah, Liana literally rolls her eyes and goes, "Are we genuinely doing this with a child?" And she's kind of just talking to no one and everyone at the same time.
Better than leaving him here.
Okay, what did you roll for insight? Sorry, Timothy.
14.
14. You get the impression that this dude is saying anything he fucking can to get these manacles off. He's like, I will be your bestest friend. Just get them off.
My ear twitches a little bit.
Okay.
I'll just like sort of roll my eyes and sigh and let him out.
Okay, roll me another dexterity check. Virgil, you were about to say?
Yeah, natural 20 for a 27.
Hey. No, all I was going to say was keeping sort of hands behind the back, even though he's going to stand up. Can I make an investigation check onto the people that have broken into this cart to start releasing us, just for not necessarily things I recognize, but symbols, anything like that, just something discernible on what they're wearing?
Sure, yeah. Roll me an investigation check. With a 27, you almost just kind of like if anybody is like at home, like you practice on Tumblr, you like literally like put it in and just turn the thing and it like clicks and just whoop, 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 amazing success. And he goes, oh, thank you, and just barges past you all and jumps out of the back of the car and just starts sprinting off.
Could I have tried to grab him on the shoulder as he passed me?
Sure, you can absolutely make me make me an athletics check. It's going to be a grapple check, so athletics against his acrobatics. Oh, he rolled okay.
I got a 15 with no. With
yeah, he rolled a 17. Just as you kind of like grab out to get him, it's almost like you're just kind of like you're fumbling with the lock pick in your hand, and you're like, ah, fuck, and he just woof out as you and kind of like leaps out like beside you and past you, Liana, as you're inside the bag searching around. I will tell you what you find in just a second. Virgil, what did you roll?
19.
19. There's nothing discernible from what you can see in terms of markings, but what you can see is that they're not wearing like armaments as such. They're wearing as they turn round, you see that it's cloak with a hood up to obviously conceal as much of their face as possible. They're wearing leather armor underneath, no particular markings or anything, but you see that they have a scimitar on their waist, a pouch on the other side, opposite side. Kind of looks a little dirt. Waist. Yeah, the other waist, the other side of the waist. That's why I correct myself. But you kind of see that immediately they give you the impression of they're quite dirty, effectively. So they've got quite, it doesn't look like they've washed in a little while. But they kind of turn and they kind of go and they address the group and go, "Come on, grab what you need. We need to go. All of us now." Liana, you open the bag, and it's quite a large satchel. And you find numerous things inside. You find a rusty dagger.
Okay.
You find brass knuckles.
Okay.
You find effectively what is a piece of cloth that has been fashioned into a sling. But it is just a bit of cloth with a few pebbles and rocks in the bag. You find an old sock that is filled with something heavy. It is effectively a sock with rocks in. You find an old kazoo. And you find 2 spell scrolls inside. Well, 2 scrolls, should I say. Okay, Liana, what do you want to do?
I didn't actually get any. I got the rusty dagger and the brass knuckles because it cut out for some reason. But
okay.
I presume everyone else.
Yeah, a sock with rocks, rusty dagger, a sling, effectively, brass knuckles, and a couple of scrolls, and a kazoo.
Kazoo. That's the important one.
Okay,
that
so
is
I'm grabbing the brass knuckles. I'm going to look at them and just like turn them over. Do I think that they could fit my massive paw hands?
Maybe not. Maybe not. You might be able to get like 3 fingers in them and like it probably you I will say effectively you can for this.
Okay, well then putting them on, I'm going to pass the bag to Virgil. I don't know what you fight with, but there is an assortment of... You look like you do magic, just everything about you says that. So there's scrolls in there. Pass it along.
It's not saying anything for the time being. He sort of brings his hands out and you notice for the first time, seeing as they've not been shown before, some sort of from mid-forearm down, there's this darkish grey gradient that goes like further and further until his hands turn essentially black on both sides with these very long sort of nice nails. They don't look, they're not witchy, they're just very well kept and groomed, but he sort of pulls them out and there's what remains of what few rings he could keep hold of. There's as much adornment to his hands as there would have been Kyriatos's. He will just sort of nod slightly, take the scrolls out and then just slide it along the thing, just open them up, seeing what we've got.
Amazing. So you pick out the scrolls, the 2 scrolls. Okay. So you take the 2 scrolls, and who do you pass the bag to next?
The hand is literally out, just whoever grabs it, for whoever wants to take it next. Like there's very little in the way of conversation.
Anyone?
I'm kind of confused where anyone is right now because I'm.
So you're all just in a car. You are within the same
I'm
vicinity.
in front of you, so just arms
okay,
out.
so Kirio will grab it and will immediately just be like, "Okay, do you fight with anything? Is there anything that you need? No? Okay, that's fine. We've got," and I'll kind of like take out the most simple looking things. So I'll take out the sling, and I will take out the kazoo and just pocket it. I was like, I guess that works for me. For a pan flute, but you know, in a pinch, still make some good music. How about you have this, just in case?
And passes Timothy the sling.
Yeah.
Okay, leaving the rusted dagger for Edivir.
Cool. Yeah, I'll take that.
I'm passing the sling over to Edivir.
I'll take that off him, and he kind of just shakes his head and walks through both of them to head out the door of the cart.
Okay, so you all exit the cart, one after another, onto the street of Windmere, home to some of you, new location for a few. As you step out, the individual with you steps to and goes, "Damn!" And you all notice that up the street, running directly towards you, are 3 members of the Windmere City Guard racing up the street. "Stay where you are!" Racing up. And first out would be Liana, Virgil. Either of you two make me a perception check, please. In fact, you don't need to. No, you won't need to. Sorry, don't make me a roll. It's fine. As you step out, you see that there is another individual outside the cart with their hand out, seemingly concentrating on a spell. This is an elven individual with long blonde hair tucked into the cloak that they're wearing. The hood is up and they're holding their hand out, going, "I can't hold it for much longer. Are we ready?" And you hear from behind the cart, as you all step out, more roars of guards down the street as 5 members of the Windmere City Guard, sorry, 4 members of the City Guard encroach in, and the individual that was on the cart transporting you is kind of held in place, like with their hand on their sword, just stuck. And as the guards encroach on your position, I'd like everybody to roll me initiative, please.
You say initiative, Dan? Is this
I
combat?
told you to roll initiative. Yes, please.
Wow. This combat is sponsored by Tom Kartos. Hey guys out in the world, do you want your combats to be really interesting with 3D maps, incredible minis and stuff to make them just pop for your players? Then we are sponsored by Tom Kartos, a very lovely person who does maps, minis for the computer. It's not real stuff, but it's digital and it works.
It is real stuff.
It is real stuff. It exists, but it's digital. It's, you know what I mean. Point is, it is what you're about to see. So if you like what you are about to watch and the things that have been brought to this table, then please go to Tom Kartos to check out his extensive back catalogue of all things combat related.
Thank you.
Also, another amazing person we met during our little trip to Birmingham.
Amazing. So, with that being said, Tom Kartos is an amazing sponsor, and there is another link down below, so go and check out that. Click on the banner for Tom Kartos. They do digital and actual map books and things, so go and check them out. There is amazing stuff. So, are we ready for the first combat encounter of Campaign 2, Aerilon, A Destined Journey?
Yes.
Oh, I got distracted.
I think
Yes,
so.
I am now.
Fantastic.
What are we rolling?
Initiative, brother.
Oh, I'm like, what?
Amazing. Okay, so I'd like
I'm panicking.
20 to 25, please.
Oh, I rolled a 20, but 22.
22. Okay, Liana is first. Okay, 20 to 15, please.
19.
16.
Okay, Pim. Dag. Okay, 15 to 10, please.
13.
13 for you.
Oh, Kiri.
Kiri, what did you get, love?
I got a 9.
Yeah, it's not bad. Respectable 9.
Amazing. As you step out and these guards encroach, let's put some music on that fits this moment, shall we?
Oh no.
You all see, and you're all about to see some stuff, behind the scenes stuff, but you all see these guards encroach on your position as you step out. I just need to double check that these are all assigned to people.
Ooh.
Carry on. That one's Pim. That one is Eddie. And that one is whoever that is. Cool.
Wow.
I'm joking. I love you, Dan. I love you, Dan.
Yeah.
They are massive payback after you fucking made me kill my character in the last one shot. Anyway, top of the initiative order. No, it was a sacrifice. It was one that definitely needed to happen. Top of the initiative order. Liana, you are stood next to the individual who was holding their hand out that way to hold this individual here in place. Well, you're next to them as the guards here, and here all encroach on your position. It is over to you, Liana. What would you like to do?
So Liana is looking around a little wildly. She's halfway considering just fucking off. And it's very obvious she's not trying to hide this. But seeing no route to escape, she takes her stance, which is quite low, and eyes the nearest guy, which is the one that is being held by, and she is going to almost barge past this lass in front of her, but she is aware that he is using magic, so she is going to not proper like barge him, but she is going to go round him. And why can't I? There we go. She's going to run up, and as a bonus action, because I can't believe I'm doing this first, she is going to pull back, and then you do see as she lets out this almighty roar, her hair fluffs out as she just suddenly gets this mass energy. But I'm doing daunting roar.
Yes.
So
Nice.
Love a daunting roll.
No, just him. Thought I could
Okay.
get the other guy, but has to do me a wisdom.
Wisdom
Yes,
saving throw.
saving throw, please.
He rolled a 14.
Just beats it. Right, okay. So nothing happens.
Okay.
Apart from I roar him. And then I'm going in for a strike with my brass knuckles, though I don't know what I'm rolling for that.
Okay, what do your claws do? Damage
My
wise.
claws are a 1d4 plus 3.
Okay, so the brass knuckles are a 1d6 plus 3. Oh, they will be a 1d6, so it'll be 1d6 plus 3. So go ahead and roll to hit, please.
Okay. Oh, roll to hit first, yeah, obviously. That. What's the modifier to hit? Would it be my strength?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So that's a dirty 20.
Okay. Dirty 20 will definitely hit.
Okay.
As you hit. Roll me a d6, please.
4, and you said it's plus 3, so that is 7.
7
points of
points.
bludgeoning damage, I would say.
And because they're held, I believe it's with advantage, right?
It will be. So hold.
Yeah,
close.
so
Yeah,
go ahead.
if they're restrained, then yeah.
Yeah, so they're restrained. So go ahead. That would have been with advantage. So, ampersand 20. Thank you very much. Was that a natural 20?
I got a nat 20!
Natural
It
20!
would
we
also
go.
be an also
That's the
crit
top
anyway
roll of
because
the
they are
night.
paralyzed.
Oh, look at you! Which means you also get a chunky crit. For those of you,
Chunky crit!
so for those of you that have joined us new this evening, whenever a player rolls a natural 20 on an attack roll, they get an additional bonus, which means they roll an additional d20 on a critical hit table. That table then dictates whether they do additional damage or another debilitating effect on their attack. So, go ahead and roll me. So that's your damage was 7. That doubled.
No, so it was.
Yeah, 4 plus 3,
No, on
7.
the dice.
Oh, so 8 plus 3, 11. 11 points. Okay.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
amazing. Amazing. And then just for fun, roll me a d20, please.
A That's a 12, DM?
A 12 is a strike to the groin.
Hey, that's what we like to see.
The foe must make.
Cross knuckles.
The foe must make a
chunky
DC
crit.
a DC 15 con save or spend the next 2 rounds retching. They made the save, however, you did just enough damage. So as you see Liana kind of pounce on this individual and go boom, and just crush this guy, you see him just go, and the whole person just holds him in place as he goes. You've done enough damage to take care of this enemy. So well done you. Amazing round, Liana. Anything else on your turn? Any movement or any additional actions that you want to take?
What's that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Kind of like shocked at how easily he went down. She kind of just like gives him like almost a pitying look.
Oh, pity, man.
As she is also she's used to find a superior type of foe. As she's going to go step over him to there.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Okay, this individual here, who is the person that's let you out of the cuffs, spots these people encroaching and will immediately run this way. So 5, 10, 15, 20 to here.
Can I shout him?
You can, but he needs to run. He's running this way regardless of you shouting. So you can shout. Go ahead.
No, don't. Literally what I'm shouting.
Oh, right, okay, cool. He runs past and just immediately draws his scimitar and takes a slash towards the individual, which will hit for a D8 that I did not think out because I didn't think about it. There we go. We'll use that D8. I like these. That is going to be 7. Okay. As you see him just and slash across. This guy gets the shield up, but it just kind of goes just above the shield. This guy looks in real pain. Just before I move on to the next round of combat, Beza9122 has subscribed at tier 1 for 6 months in advance. So thank you so much for the support.
Thank you so much.
Next in initiative order is going to be this individual here, who's going to see you start racing out and is going to make a diagonal charge towards you and see you in front of them, Kiri.
Okay.
Is not going to like the fact that you're out causing all this trouble and is going to try and attempt to hit you with their scimitar.
Scimitar?
It is going to hit, unfortunately. That is going to be a 17 to hit.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, you lucky swine! Because he only rolled a 1 on his D6, so that is 2 points of the slashing damages.
Ow.
As he... And it just kind of like, you step back in shock as the scimitar cuts into your shoulder just a little bit. Little bit of damage, but not... It could be worse, Next in initiative order, we have Pim. Pimothy... Please, could you tell me what you're doing on your turn?
Right, I have a question for you, just because I need a fresh reminder. Is this person up here to the right, is that also an enemy, a city guard of some kind?
Which person where, sorry? No.
Right,
No. So, this is a guard here. This one here. This one, and this one here. The individual that you've just put your thing on is just... make me a perception check. See what you can pick out.
Okay. Yeah, that's not going to be great. 15.
15. You see this individual has their back against what appears to be a notice board. Doesn't seem surprised by what they're watching and doesn't seem phased at all, but is watching what's happening. You see that they are dark of skin, dreadlocked hair in a ponytail, quite stocky individual, and they just seem to be arms crossed looking in your direction as this unfolds. But it is your turn. You have an action, a bonus action, and movement to take, so you just let me know what you want to do.
Okay, so Timothy being absolutely fucking terrified about this whole situation. There's blades and there are people running, screaming, and he's just been a victim of a jailbreak, essentially. Is gonna look around very nervously, spots the tree, and goes, "Okay, here we go," and he shoots his arm out and wraps it towards him, and from the tree's roots are gonna grow, and he's gonna cast Entangle on
Amazing.
these two individuals here. So it's in a 20-foot sphere.
Oh.
So I'm gonna try to see if I can catch them without getting my own person.
Okay. So I do
from the-
apologize. Natalie has just lost connection to Zoom, so just bear with us a second while we do this.
Oh no!
We will do this all theatre of the mind until we get Natalie back, and then we'll jump back into the combat screen. So until then, you have my lovely face. Amazing. Cool. So what is the save, sorry, Evan, for those two people?
It's a strength save for those two.
A strength save. Okay, let me just double check what that would be.
And Kyria,
Okay.
you would probably see for a quick, like a small instant, there's like a green spark in his eyes, like a sort of almost a like light verdant green spark.
Nice.
Okay. Amazing. Okay, so you would see that as the the vines come up from the floor to try and entangle these two individuals, the one that is has just been attacked by the person that let you go goes and gets wrapped up as they're struck. The other individual is moving too quickly and steps over as the vines come up to entangle them. They step through them and away from the area. So the one is entangled, one is not.
Which one is entangled again? Sorry, the one next to the guy who broke us out.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So he's restrained, and the rest of the ground. So essentially, can I write on this?
You on the map?
Yeah.
What are you
put
looking?
A circle, essentially.
Is it restrained?
Yeah, a circle.
one.
Yeah, but
from
it becomes difficult.
Yeah, it's
terrain,
the
doesn't it?
difficult
Yeah.
terrain.
Yeah, of course we
terrain
can do
all the
that.
way here.
Of course.
Wow.
So 20 foot, did you say?
Yeah, 20 feet.
Sure. So where is it? Difficult terrain, sorry?
Basically catching both of those towards the edges. So it's
There.
from essentially from here to here. 20 feet. It's a 20-foot square. Sorry.
Yeah, so it's that those
Not a
in
circle.
all of those.
Yeah, all of those sort of things.
Okay, bear with me. It's a 20-foot square. I
sort of
can
thing.
do that. So there you go. And then if we just do that, 1 second. There.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Then Timothy's gonna okay, that went well. Oh shit, he's coming, and Timothy's gonna dart round underneath Kyria's legs.
Okay.
And goes, I'm not looking, and then he's darting underneath the cart, essentially.
Amazing. So you are diving under here, effectively, yeah?
Yeah, just going underneath and just hiding.
Perfect. No problem at all. Anything else on your turn?
No, that's me.
Okay, so, Dag, you are up. Or Edivir, should I say. Because nobody knows you by Dag yet. I know you as that, but everyone else would know you as Eddie. So go ahead, Eddie.
Only my friends know me as that.
Exactly, which is who I am.
Well, check it. Yes.
Only the first session. Right now I am.
What can you just as I glance around and sort of see this stuff happening?
Mhm.
Can you tell me what is, if I can see what is inside the cart that sits next to the tree nearby?
Sure. If you make me a perception check, I will. Because there's a little bit of like hustle and bustle in front of it. It might be
Is that
difficult
going to be
for
my
you to
action
see.
though?
No, I will allow you just to make a perception check just to see what's inside it.
Okay, cool. That's a 12.
Oh, here we go again.
Well, I've got like 3 12s.
12.
No. I'm more talking about Natalie
Na-
losing connection again.
Yeah, but with a 12, it looks like they are metallic milk jugs, like that you would traditionally.
Nothing that looks like it will blow up then.
No, nothing. I mean, you could probably blow it up, but it wouldn't ignite itself. You'd have to blow it up properly. But no, nothing that looks flammable or like it would ignite into an explosion.
So Edivir is just going to call back to the rest of them and just say, if we're fighting, let's fight on the move before the whole of the middle city comes down on us. And Edivir will go running round past this guy to the other side of him.
As you start running that way, the individual with the hood just kind of looks over you and goes, "This way!"
What, he's directing me this way?
No, this way.
Yeah, okay, cool. That's where I was planning.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah,
first,
that's fine.
I'm going to go 20 feet to there, and I'm going to take an attack against this guy in front of me.
Okay, go ahead and roll me to hit with advantage, please.
Cool. And I'll say as well, not bad. I'm doing Rusty Dagger.
Rusty Dagger, it's only a D4.
Okay, and it would be plus my proficiency plus dexterity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's plus 5. So that's 11 plus 5, 16.
16 will hit. Go ahead and roll me some damage.
Oh shit! I
please.
didn't roll advantage. Sorry, my bad.
Okay, that's fine.
That's worse. So a D4.
Yeah, 1d4 plus your dexterity mod.
Okay, so that's 1 plus 3, but I also get my sneak attack.
You do.
So that's 4 plus 6, so 10 points of damage. But specifically, as I sort of run round and skip round him, I'm going to just try and cut his Achilles heel. So I'm not trying to do lethal damage. I'm just trying to make sure this guy ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
So I kind of slide on the floor past Kiri and Pim and just cut out one of his Achilles heels.
Amazing. That will hit, and with 10 damage, you do manage to find the slot. It's not quite the Achilles, but it's on the back of their leg, and you see them like just drop, like ah. They're looking very beat up at this point. That would be that person there. Wonderful. Anything else on your turn, Eddie?
Yeah, I'm going to keep moving.
Okay.
And I'm going to go. I'm just going to shout over to the lioness, the leoness.
Yeah.
Come on! And then I'll turn around and start heading back this way. 5, 10, 15, 20 to there.
Okay, because you've moved out of their area of attack, they will get an opportunity attack against you.
No, they won't.
Why?
Because I have the mobile feat, and I took an attack.
Mobile again, haven't you?
Very
so
good.
he does not. I do not incur opportunity attacks if I've hit someone.
Amazing. It's almost like you built your character knowing that this is how you wanted to play. Amazing. Okay.
In and out.
In and out. Amazing. Okay, so next in initiative is in fact this individual who is restrained by the thorns. Does he get to attempt to break out of them?
As an action, yeah. He must spend his action to do so.
Okay, which he will do to try and break out. Rolled a 10 on the dice, so that is not going to work, I'm afraid. So he is still restrained.
He's locked up.
Cool. This individual here, knowing full well that the Leonin has taken care of that individual, is going to jump up onto the cart, onto the roof, point their hand at this individual here, and is going to fire off a spell towards them.
A spell?
A spell. Which is going to be a firebolt.
Oh no!
Bolt, not ball.
No.
Firebolt. Yeah, firebolt. It does hit. Oh, I've just knocked like a load of stuff off my shelf all over my desk.
What do you do that for?
Dan.
While he's picking his stuff up, I do want to apologise for those technical difficulties. That doesn't normally happen, but life.
I promise it's my first time.
Yeah. We also lie a lot. That happens like a couple of times a week. That's fine. We're good.
That usually happens for me, though.
Yeah, we're fine.
Not for her.
So that's Firebolt does in fact hit, and does a good amount of damage. That is 8 points of damage on that individual.
Have it.
Boom. Next in, they will in fact, seeing as that hit, will in fact jump down here and start. Oh god, I'm pulling the map around. Start 1, 2, 3 to there, and it's started to make their way that way. Cool. That individual is dead, so they don't get a go. Virgil.
Did I pull anything from the spell scrolls? Did I have time?
As you are very briskly reading through them, you find that there is one spell of Frostbite and one spell of Thunderwave.
Okay. All right, Virgil, sort of looking around, mildly, with a certain sternness to just the situation, is going to not push past, but just briskly walk past Kyriatos to here.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of pulling his blackened hands together, he starts to... Okay. And he watches sort of hexagonal, sort of light blue, sort of colored arcane things start coming together. And as they do and sort of form these little balls that sort of like, if you've ever seen those, what's it called? Those like wind things that sort of twist and you see the different shapes move. They sort of look a bit like that.
Wind
I'm going to fire a magic missile at each of these people. So the one that was tangled, the one that has Achilles' heel cut,
Yep.
the one that was fireballed.
Yeah.
I'm aiming solely for areas like the stomach or the chest to knock them down, not necessarily kill them. I'm going for non-lethal stuff here. I just want to knock them out.
Okay, no problem. And do you roll per magic missile or once for each? I assume you do, right?
Hit.
You don't roll.
Auto hit.
You don't roll.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
So do you want me to roll one dice and then assume it's for all three, or do you want me to roll individually?
Individually, please.
Okay. Okay, so Mr. Entangled takes 5 force damage.
Okay, he
To the
is
chest.
restrained and is now unconscious. I need to find an unconscious thing.
Sorry.
The one closest to the cart takes 4 force damage.
I'm just imagining Timothy just actually hitting his head onto the cart and making a loud noise and just going, sorry!
Which individual, sorry? The Achilles heel takes...
4 force damage.
Is
Against
also
chest.
knocked unconscious.
And the last one takes another 4 force damage.
And is also knocked unconscious as you... And these things just clash, bang, bang, bang. And you just see these individuals hit the cobbled stone floor and just kind of hit the ground unconscious. Anything else on your turn, Virgil? That was an amazing play. Well done.
Yes, as he forms these 4 things, they spin his hand, he just releases them all at once. And just he turns to... He feels like he remembers a name, but not quite. The one stood close to his tune, which would have been Edivir. So he goes, well, if we're going, let's get moving then. I'm not standing here all day. I'm going to take the rest of my movement to come here.
Fantastic. Amazing. Really good turn for you. That was brilliant. In fact, you can have inspiration for that turn because that was a very, very good round for you for combat, going for the unconscious play. Very good. And, well, they're unconscious. So, Kiri, what would you like to do, love?
Wait, so is this guy alive?
This one here is still up.
Yes.
Yes, not quite had their turn yet, though.
Hang on, please
It's
throw
got
off
difficult
my,
terrain to continue.
Yes, it is.
That's fine. Hang on. I just want to... Alright, we're fine. Okay. So, Kyria kind of is going to, like, lean down to get Timothy. But as they do, it's just kind of going to call over and just be like, oh, God, it looks like the flux side effects are taking its toll on the Crown's Guard too. I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery at that guy.
Nice! Which is
so save DC 30.
Call them a crackhead.
I was trying to be subtle about it, Chris.
Did you say wisdom save?
Critical hit.
Wiz save, yeah.
That was a very good whiz save. It's a 19 on the die, unfortunately.
Alright, nothing happens.
Okay.
Okay, so I am going to...
He's like, yeah, so?
What I'm going to do then
His
is...
lips are against his teeth. What?
As I kind of look under to him, Timothy, you hear in your mind, it's all right, you got this, as this kind of like directionless voice sends a bit of a shiver up your spine, and I'm going to give you Bardic Inspiration.
Woo. Amazing.
Nice.
Amazing. Anything else on your turn, Kyria?
Come on, we're off. And I'm going to use my 35 feet of movement because I'm not capable of having a slow character. Let's go.
Boom, boom.
Wait. Let me clarify something quickly.
Yes.
Because it might be just Zoom fucking me up. But did you just do 2 accents? Did I hear one in my head and one?
You heard one in your head, yes.
Different one in your head, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Cool. So 35 feet
He's
of
just as
movement.
confused as I am.
So 5, 10,
Van Dyke.
15, 20, 25, 30, 35.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Next in initiative order is this individual here. I nearly tried to move it on my OBS, not the map, because I am a great
D6
DM.
Bardic, by the way.
10, 20, 30. He will just get to there on his turn and have no more movement left. However, he does have a light crossbow and is going to attempt to shoot you, Edivir, with that light crossbow. And we'll draw and shoot for a natural 1. Which means...
Let's go.
Which means...
Oh, fumble
yes,
table.
it does.
Oh yeah.
we are bringing in something brand new for this campaign. Because if a player or an enemy rolls a natural 1 on attack, regardless of a modifier, they roll on a fumble table. So he misses the attack wildly. However, we'll roll on the fumble table.
Does anyone now realize why I rolled the halfling?
Wow. And as they pull the crossbow up, they scrape it along the ground as they draw it and snap one of the arms of the weapon. Mundane weapons are ruined. Meaning that not only does the attack not hit, but the weapon he was trying to attack you with is now made useless.
Edivir sort of naturally hears the familiar sound of a crossbow being drawn, and just turns panicked for a second, and then sees this sort of fall apart and just shakes his head.
Amazing. Okay, top of the round, Liana.
Liana, seeing all the unconscious bodies around her, is going to drop down to all fours and dash.
Amazing.
Because yes, Dan, that is faster. And she's gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70.
Amazing. As you do, anything else on your turn, Liana, as you race on all fours?
As she's passing, like Virgil, she is going to shout back to I can't fucking remember, Edivir, and say, grab the kid, as she pelts past. She's leaving that opportunity, the responsibility to you. She doesn't give a fuck. But she's going to say it, grab the kid, as she pelts past.
Okay. At the end of your turn, this individual here, the person that sets you free, seeing the opportunity of this individual drop, turns to all of you and goes, "Follow me, quick!" And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and will go off map as they race and start running down that street. As they do, and this individual here notices that you are all following suit, steps out past where the billboard is and starts walking off down the alleyway this way.
Dodgy.
Next in initiative is Pim. You are up.
Just to say, you have kind of like this lingering presence around you, Pim, but it feels comforting and warm.
Not creepy.
Definitely not creepy.
Hands on the shoulders all the time.
Pim quickly sort of scoots himself out of from underneath the cart again and starts.
You see Edivir pointing his dagger down the direction of the road where everyone else is going. Run!
Starts bolting. So I have 25 feet, so I'll run up to there.
Okay.
And then I will dash.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to there.
Okay.
Because I'm small, I'm assuming that I can just run through people.
You can.
Once again going,
He's a
Not
halfling
looking!
creature.
not looking!
Okay. Anything else on your turn, Pim?
No, that's action and movement. Yeah, that's all I'm doing.
Excellent. Edivir, you are next in initiative order.
Okay, so Edivir is going to run north.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong tool. Can I not pick myself up anymore? I can't pick myself up anymore. Oh, maybe I can. Oh god, no, I'm getting small, I'm getting big. Hang on.
There you go. Yep.
I'm gonna go to there.
You
Yep.
also flipped yourself. You like did a spin.
This cart that's full of things.
Yeah.
Does it look like, at a glance, that I can potentially either cut or pull down this side of the cart to make these barrels spin? Oh, there's only 4 of them actually. Isn't there?
There's a few in there.
Okay, because basically what I've got in my head is I'm trying to make an obstruction for anyone who's chasing after us. You know how like you pull down a table or pull down
Yeah, of course. You can
so I'm
certainly.
looking to run past, try and cut a rope holding up that side or something so that the things.
It would have to be. It would have to be. You'd have to drag down the thing. The difficulty being is they're not stacked up in. Like looking at it as you race past, you could pull, but it. I mean,
you're
you're
not gonna just like topple down and cover the road or anything.
No, but it could cause a bit of an obstacle, but it's also about, are you going to leave a trail in the direction you're going? That's up to you. I mean,
Good point.
you're effectively showing where you're going if you do that, right?
Yeah. Okay. So that was 30 feet to get there. I will carry on the rest of my 40 feet, and then I'll stay there, and I'll equip the sling.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll ready an attack in case anyone tries to follow us.
Okay. This individual here will also 5, 10, 15, 20. Will only go to about here and turn towards you, Virgil, and go, "Come on, move now! There isn't enough time!"
Not my turn yet.
I'm trying.
But
know how movement works.
will effectively.
What do you want from me?
Well, this individual
I need
will
a breather.
effectively run to effectively the back of the group and usher you all to run.
Mm-hmm.
Virgil, you're next up.
I do just that. It's very much a case of let's go, and I'm going to move and then dash off map, following in the direction of Mr. Hood.
Okay.
How does Virgil run? I'm imagining a very Jack Sparrow-y kind of.
100%.
Yeah, do you know what? Fair enough. We're gonna roll with that. It's very much you can hear him sort of clank a little bit as he runs.
Yeah, lots of jangling and stuff.
After the first 30 feet, a lot of heavy breathing as well.
Nice. Excellent.
Look for this.
Next in initiative order is Kyria.
Kyria can't help themselves, and it's gonna try again, and it's gonna, as they're turning behind, seeing that Pim's now out and away, it's gonna be like, some fear success, but you really have nothing to worry about. Ta-ta! And is gonna continue running.
Oh! So good. And we'll fail that save.
Let's go!
We'll fail
4
the
points of
wishes.
psychic damage.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. As you vicious mockery behind you.
And
Anything
then
else?
I will run the rest, my 35 feet, off
Okay.
map.
Is there anything else anybody else wants to do? I'm going to end combat there. This individual will obviously start making chase up, but seeing the other individuals on the ground will notice immediately that they have unconscious people and he's outnumbered. He's been, like, he hasn't got a weapon to fire. He instead pulls a whistle out and just and starts raising the alarm further. You all... Okay?
As I'm running, can
Yes.
I quickly check down the way where the mysterious person went down? See
Yeah,
if I can still spot them.
Yeah, they are not going out of sight, Pim. They are ushering you to follow them as they dash through the streets of
No, as in
Windmere.
the one that went behind the message board and...
Make me a
fucked off.
perception check. You are running at this point, chasing after the other
Yeah.
individual. Maybe a perception check. You're going to have to roll it with disadvantage,
That's
though,
cool.
because you're very much just like eyes to the side, just to see
Okay.
if you can spot them as they run.
That's 17, I believe. Yes.
17. You see that they are not looking behind them. They are just wandering down an alley until they just turn and go out of sight.
Okay.
Okay. You are all on foot, racing through the streets of Windmere,
Clip, clop, clip,
Left.
clop, clip, clop.
and right. I'd like you all to make me constitution checks, please. Just to see how well you're keeping this pace.
I'm
Maybe
gonna run
athletics,
up
actually.
to...
It'll be athletics.
Legs,
I'm
okay.
gonna run up to Kyria and go, thanks for that guidance.
Oh, beautiful!
Amazing.
And you have the D6 if you need it.
Okay, Liana,
Oh,
athletics check, please.
I got a nat 1 for a 6.
Okay. I will now come to you, Virgil.
12.
12. Okay. Edivir.
It's been a rough couple of days. 9.
9. Okay. Pim.
I rolled my first another nat 1, which I re-rolled to a 14 and a d6, so 18 minus 1, 17.
17. Okay. And Kyria.
9!
Nice.
Twinsies.
Okay. So from that, I mean, it kind of looks like Virgil and Timothy are like at this point. They're running with purpose, like running, chasing after this guy. They have no idea where they are being taken, but I think because they are not like accustomed to their surroundings, it's almost like, okay, they have a purpose, stick with this person. Whereas Liana, Kyria, and Edivir, you're kind of like where it's almost as if you're running, questioning a lot of the what's happening. Where's it taking us? Why are we going this way? If we go that way, okay, so he's turned right now. Fucking hell! And it's almost like slowing you down. It's slowing you down in like your pace, because it's almost like the trust is like, why are we following this dude? But then the resounding thought going, well, we don't have a fucking choice at this point.
I know they're both hooded, but am I starting to recognize either of these two individuals just by stature or anything like that?
No, you do not. No, you do not. None of you recognize these people. You follow, and you hear the whistles of town guard raising the alarm all over the city. You turn down an alleyway, race through the back streets of the middle city towards the border between the middle and lower city. For those of you that are accustomed to this area, you know that as we race through the middle city, and for those of you at home, let me describe the middle city for you. It's very much a traditional setting, a very traditional high fantasy city that you would imagine. However, there are a few key differences, as it is a little bit more steampunky than it is high fantasy. So there are a lot of clockwork kind of mechanisms within not only the floor, but some walls that have clocks in them and all that kind of like
steaming pipes and stuff.
Yeah, that kind of vibe, right? You race through this alleyway out onto another thoroughfare, dart immediately across into another alleyway, and as you race down, you turn left into what is effectively a dead end of an alley. The individual kind of like skids to a stop and goes, "Quick, all of you, through there, follow me," and walks at pace towards the end of the alley and through the wall at the end. Do you all follow suit?
Yeah, I know an illusion when I see one. Straight on.
Okay.
I stop dead in my tracks.
Okay. Who else follows at this point?
Edivir just kind of looks down at this kid
Fine.
and says, "If you want to get out of
Find
here now."
Timothy when he stops.
Oh, sorry,
Oh my God,
Natalie,
oh my
one
God.
second. Edivir, go ahead.
Yeah, he's just going to say, "If you want to get out of here, now's probably your best chance," and then walks forwards.
Okay. And Liana, what was that, sorry? I think there's a bit of a delay.
And say that if I was behind Timothy. Right. My bag.
You're good, yeah.
Kinda, yeah. No.
No.
Far from it.
Yeah, that is the epitome of not. So
You good?
Yeah. Edivir, you step forward and through the illusion wall. Kyria, what do you do in this moment? Just while we wait for Natalie to come back.
Kyria is going to reach down a hand.
Mhm.
You adventures together? I'm Kyria, by the way. Come on, you'll be safe. I'll protect you.
Reaches slowly and unsurely up a hand.
Okay.
And then as soon as his hand is in mine, I kind of just give him a gentle nudge and we head where everyone's gone.
I close my eyes.
Okay. You all follow suit at this point through the illusion and through the wall at the end. The blonde-haired individual does not follow, however, and stands at the entrance to the alleyway. The other hooded person that you follow through, as you walk through this illusion, enter into another alleyway, seemingly concealed completely. I'm just going to put myself on the screen while we sort Natalie's thing out, because we are going to go through a break in just a moment. You all see this alleyway is dark, very hard to see from one end to another. Very few light sources, very dirty, and very dim at this point. You all step through the walled illusion, and the individual spins and goes, "Okay, you should be safe for now, but keep moving. Do not stop. Head for the UC," and turns to you, Edivir, and says, I have it written down. Fucking hell, not on that page. 1 second. And says, "Make for the mark." Turns and runs back through the walled illusion into the alleyway, and as you kind of watch him walk through, you see from where you're stood looking out to where the alleyway was that you've just come from, you see him run to the end of the alley, tap the other individual on a shoulder, immediately quickly look right and start sprinting off in the left. And after they go out of sight, a moment or two passes before 3 City Watch race past to the entrance of the alley, look down towards where you're stood. You all stand frozen in place as they race off to the left. And that is where we're going to take a quick break, leaving our adventurers in this darkened alley together. We will be back in around 15 minutes, around 8:05. Please go and get yourselves a drink. In the break, please head down into our About section. Please check out our sponsors. All the banners there will take you directly to their pages and websites. Go check out their stuff. We'll be back in around 15 minutes. Thank you so much to everyone that has joined us thus far. We will be back in 15, and we'll find out what happens next. Back soon. Woo-hoo! Cheers.
Into Albert.
Hello and welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking with us through that short break. We are going to just jump straight back into the action, but before we do, if you haven't already checked out the links for our sponsors down below, then please make sure you do that before the end of the stream. Even if you open it in another tab on Google for later, then do that. And again, another just quick reminder that if you have nothing to do tomorrow, then tomorrow night, one of our good friends who's currently in the chat right now, Miko, is going to be running a very special two-shot over the next 2 weeks on the 22nd and the 29th of November over at twitch.tv/Wanderers Haven. They are going to be running an Astera two-shot called The Crimson Sails. So that is going to be live tomorrow night at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you head over to Wanderers Haven on Twitch and make sure you follow and hit that notification bell on there so that when that goes live tomorrow evening, you are there to watch that. But let's jump into the action once again. As you guys have stepped through this illusion at the bottom end of this alleyway, and the individual that set you free turns to Edivir and goes, "Make for the mark," and immediately just turns on their heels and races through the illusion to the bottom of the alley and off away with City Watch in tow. You all find yourselves in each other's company in a darkened alleyway somewhere in Windmere. I would like... First person that was through was Virgil, so I will ask you to make me a perception check, please.
Shit. My perception is new character. Don't know what I can do.
I know I can't believe.
Okay, 15.
15. While you were the first through, it would make sense that you would be the first person to start picking out, you know, your familiar surroundings within this alleyway. And around 2/3 of the way up, you see that on the right-hand side of the alley is this rather large pipe that's come out through the floor and kind of like bends, sort of Super Mario style, if you will. Yeah. Quite large, with the grate ripped off and on the floor within this alley.
Okay.
There is nobody else within this alleyway apart from the 5 of you, as it stands.
Go on.
I was doing some RP stuff, but it sounds like you're trying to figure stuff out.
What I was going to say was how, relative to how tall are the buildings around us? Are we talking sort of, they block sky view kind of thing? Yeah,
they pretty much do. Yeah, they are like 2 to 3 stories high. Most of the natural light that you would expect to find in any alleyway is almost shielded in the space that you're in. As you kind of look up, you see that not only does the illusion that you've walked through cover the wall as such, but it is almost like it is blocking out whatever natural light seems to try and seek its way into the alleyway as well. Okay. It is quite a darkened space.
Good illusion.
As these people sort of run off and we lose sight of them, Edivir just sort of turns away from the rest of you and just sort of like walks over, just sort of moving his head around like he's figuring his stuff out, and then he just sort of throws a bit of a tantrum, like kicks a barrel and stuff like that.
I clasp your hand harder.
And then he just sort of looks over the shoulder, almost remembering you guys are there, and just goes, "But I don't know what we're tied up in, I don't know what they want with me. If you want to leave, I'm not stopping you.
Wait, sorry, hang on. So you don't know these people?
I haven't got a fucking clue.
Right. I was kind of under the assumption that you knew them. Okay, that's fine. And she kind of like looks down at Timothy. As they're looking around, is there any chance I can gauge whereabouts we are? Because you said we were still running into the middle city. Like, are we kind of like leaving it towards lower city area?
Exactly that. Yes. Yeah. So
knowing like my way around, like I don't really know back alleys, but can I kind of see any like distinguishable features, landmarks?
You will have picked up on your. In fact, make me a intelligence check, please, and we'll see how good you are at picking out where you are. You can, let's do that.
Okay, straight intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 17.
17. You would know. I don't know why I made that face then. That was horrifying. I apologize to everyone watching at home. You will see, and you kind of like, as you were racing through the streets, you would know that this area is southwesterly of the Windmere Marketplace within the middle city. As you head further and you're racing through the streets, you know that in terms of locations and where you are, you're pretty close to the Temple of Thalor. But in terms of which alleyway you're in and such, you wouldn't quite know where you are at this point. But you know that you're in the middle city bordering the lower city.
Okay.
We need to go to the Undercity. And I can't promise that the situation down there is going to be any better than it is up here, but...
Okay. Been a long time since I've been down there. Okay, no, that's fine. The Mark. They're in the Undercity? The lower city?
You'll see when we get there.
Confused.
Undercity, the UC.
Undercity. Yeah, the UC.
You'll see when we get there, but... Look, I've been betrayed today, or this week. While we may be brothers in chains, I don't know who any of you are.
Kyria. Pleasure to meet you. And the rest of you. We should probably keep moving, but, you know, it never hurts to get to know one another.
And Dag will just sort of like look around and look at the alley to see if there's any activity coming close or around the corners or anything like that.
I would like to do the same, trying to sort of peek out from behind Kyria, just looking, because I'm terrified of everything in my surrounding.
Yeah, of course. Both of you make me a perception check, please. Liana, what would you like to do?
I am like I've kind of sunk back into the shadows almost as much as she can, but she is trying to look out for any particular wall adornments that she'd be looking out for.
Sus.
Okay. Maybe a perception check as well, then, please.
You know what I'm talking about.
No idea. You can send me a message on Discord. And Virgil, what would you be doing at this time?
So, having come through sort of first and looked around and realised that he's not particularly sure where he is, found a reflective surface, maybe like a dirty window, sort of unsmudged, and just gone, no, that's not going to do. And just prestidigitate sort of the makeup back into form, so the lipstick comes back on, the sort of shadow and the blush comes together, and he sort of ruffles a bit of hair, straightens out, and well, I might be a criminal, but at least I can look nice, I suppose.
Seeing this, you see Kyria snap to you, and she's like, oh, listen, I know you don't know me, but could you do me a massive favor? You look fabulous,
Timothy holds up his hand. His other hand that he's not holding you with, and goes and prestidigitates your face as well. To what he thinks it would have looked like before.
Edivir just kind of goes, ugh. All right, fine. We'll save pleasantries until we're out of the heat. Follow me, and I'll start walking towards the pipe.
Sorry, I don't mean to be a spanner in the pipeline, but why?
Why what?
Are we following you, going to the mark, doing anything? Like, I appreciate the people you don't know freeing us from the cart, but I'm not a criminal. I don't intend to act as one.
Very well. Thank you for your help.
I mean,
And he carries on walking.
technically we're all criminals now, right? I mean, we did just escape from...
No, we were broken free. We haven't committed a crime. We have simply left a place where we were supposed to be.
Isn't that a
did
crime?
Tax city guards as well. Technically, I think they would class that as a crime. Did I notice anything with my 18?
I didn't know that you rolled an 18. So now that you've told me that you rolled an 18...
I sent you a message.
Yeah, I know, but you didn't tell me what you... Okay.
I did.
You do not see anything of that nature on your perception check, but one thing I did forget before this track and this train carries on is we were, and you have all leveled up. I was going to tell you prior to the break, but Natalie, unfortunately, you did dip out, so I just wanted to make sure everyone was back, and then completely forgot because I was sidetracked with getting into the game. So you have all leveled up. Woo! Level 2!
Level 1 is over.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Good riddance.
So I will. Well, I'll start again. We are going to be rolling for hit points in this game. In the interest of transparency, I knew that we would be leveling up quite quickly in this session, so I asked all the players to roll for hit points prior to the session's start, none of who know what each other has rolled. So I'm going to come to you individually, and you can tell us what you rolled on your hit points. So, Akiria, what did you roll for hit points when you rolled?
I rolled a 5, so I'm now on 17 HP.
And you took a level in?
Bard.
Took a level in Bard. Thank you, Timothy.
I rolled an 8. So I'm now on 18 HP.
And you took a level in?
Druid.
Level in Druid. Thank you. Liana.
I rolled awesomely and rolled max hit points at 12.
Nice.
Nice.
I'm not actually too sure what that makes me in HP, but I am taking
You're
another
at
level.
30 HP, Natalie.
No
30.
way.
You're at 30 HP.
That's crazy.
Amazing. And you took a level in Barbarian?
Barbarian, yes.
Amazing. And Virgil, what did you roll when you rolled hit points?
I rolled a 4, so I now have 12 hit points.
12. And you took another level in Wizard?
I did it indeed.
You don't have... do you have 12? No, you have more than 12, I think.
Yeah, because you're con mod as well.
Plus your con modifier, so I think you get 14. I think 14. And Edivir, what did you roll?
I also took... Well, I took a level in Rogue, giving me a D8, on which I rolled an 8.
Amazing.
So that's 20 HP.
So you will have just noticed that the character sheet below has just changed to your level 2 one. Thank you very much for that, Han, and apologies that I asked you to do that with a couple of hours notice.
It's all good.
So, Timothy and Edivir, what did you roll your perception checks, please?
Oh, I rolled really bad. I rolled a 7.
7. You don't pick anything out on anything untoward at this point. Timothy?
I rolled a 5.
A 5.
For
okay.
an 11 total.
11. Okay. With an 11, you will not see anything of note within the alleyway, but you will still hear the whistles and the clamour around the city. Apologies for the burp.
Can I go to this pipe?
Yes.
And investigate both sort of the outside and inside of the pipe, just like the first sort of foot.
Yeah, of course you can.
And also the grate, and I'm looking for any symbols in Thieves' Cant.
Of course, make me an investigation check, please. As Edivir walks off towards the pipe, leaving Kyria, Pim, and Virgil and Liana, what are you guys doing at this point?
I want to roll. Well, no. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to look at their faces to see if there's any areas of recognition from them when they actually see me properly.
Hey.
So I presume that's like a vibe check, like a
insight. Insight. It will be yes. to see if anybody recognizes you.
Ooh. Insight. Insight. That's a +1. So that is 16.
16. Okay. You spend a moment or two kind of scanning people's faces, looking for that moment of recognition in theirs, and it doesn't seem to come.
Okay.
Though, Pim, Kyria, and Virgil, what impression would you give as Liana looks over in your direction individually? So, Kyria, what kind of vibe would she get from you right now?
I think, in general, probably a bit too happy, a bit too excited.
Okay.
I think that's the general vibe.
Okay. Pim?
It's like an undertone of fear, but they're not processing it.
Okay.
And they're just like, this is so fun.
Okay. And Pim?
You don't see him. He's hidden. He's basically behind Kyria, not looking at you.
Okay. And what kind of vibe does Virgil give off?
Complete indifference at the moment. It's very much if you stare towards them, he will just be sort of staring back. There's not really much in the way of anything. Like, yeah, all right.
Okay. I love how it's the total spectrum. It's all 3 points. It's extreme happiness, total panic and fear, and then I don't give a shit.
Well, with that, she's going to taking that as a knowledge of non-recognition, she's going to reach out her paw to Kurita and say, Sophia, pleased to meet you.
Kyria, pleasure's mine. And we'll tentatively go to kiss your hand and then just
Nice. Okay. Edivir, what is your roll investigation?
22!
22. You do pick up a little symbol in Thieves' Cant.
Scratched on there.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. And it literally is Thieves' Cant for UC with an arrow. And with that investigation check, you kind of are looking around the pipe, and it is quite a large pipe. Again, think Super Mario. It is huge, right? And yeah, exactly. And as you kind of look in, you see that there is what is effectively a makeshift ladder within the downpipe of it, leading down.
And sort of as these guys are continuing their pleasantries, Edivir's just going to say, look, you don't have to follow me any further than down here, but you've got a better chance down there than up here.
Down where?
The Undercity.
I agree. That's where I want to go. So if you're going there too, that's fine.
I have places I could go, but given the announcement this morning, I feel like we're not exactly welcome. So I'm fine for a little detour.
So that's 3. I presume the kid's gonna come.
He's not a kid. He's not a kid. He's a halfling.
How old are you, darling?
17.
He's a child, but he's a halfling.
You do see that she was when you said he's not a kid, there was genuine confusion came over her face. But then as you said he's 17, I was like, so he is a kid. Okay. And do you have elsewhere to be, or are you going to come? Am I going to fit in that pipe?
When you say you, who are you talking to?
You,
Virgil.
Me. I mean, I don't intend to be the sensible one, if I don't have to be, but aren't we just incriminating ourselves further by running away from things we've potentially could just own up to and be done with? The fact of the matter is I know what I did was not intentional, so I don't want to really, make it worse.
Neither was what I did.
Okay, so that's 2 potentially innocent parties.
You guys can go free, but I know I'm screwed if I go anywhere near there, so I'm going down that pipe.
Something tells me I'm pretty screwed as well. Sorry, bad language.
That's okay.
Oh, cute.
Feel free to express yourself however you need to.
I can't wait to teach you more. Anyway,
Listen, I don't know. It's none of my business what either of you did. Any of you did, really. Whole misunderstanding on my part, but I don't think I'm going to get out of it lightly. So, personally, I need to go undercover for a little bit and clear my name. And typically, that helps when you have more information. And at the moment, they're not listening to us. I've tried talking for days. I've tried talking. Nobody's listening.
Ways to give innocence without talking. There are spells that go into your mind and see your history. If you open yourself up honestly and what you did, it wasn't actually, your fault, it should be fine.
Is this something we can discuss when we're off the ground level?
I start to walk towards, as I'm starting to look guilty now, as she's just like, yeah, that's not. She's like, no truth's going towards me, so she's just walking towards the pipe.
Okay.
Not fast, but
Could I insight check all of them? This is a strange request, but could I do a general insight for all of them? Because now all of them have sort of talk, like, Edibir is deflected, Keratos obviously talks too much for what they're saying.
Yeah.
Virgil
I don't
says
think
there's a misunderstanding.
Yeah,
but...
I think in terms of getting a vibe check, that I'm not gonna. If you're to roll it, there's nothing to roll against. Nobody's either being dissuasive or like persuading or deflecting or decepting. But as a general insight check, that is the kind of vibe you get. Is that everyone seems to like kind of be like, okay, yeah, we need to go for our own reasons, and
yeah, it's basically just my own assumptions.
Exactly that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You all make your way over to the large pipe in the wall.
I'll go down first. And
climb in and start heading down the rungs of ladders into a large sewer system. The first level you get to is, it's around 25 to 30 feet down this long ladder. As you get to the bottom, it is dark. If any of you do not have dark vision, it is difficult to see.
As we're sort of going down, I'll shout out to whoever gets in last, like, close the grate.
I can't reach.
Somebody please help him.
I was second after you, so...
Okay.
I'll close it.
What was your favourite spell again?
As you make your way down the ladder, all of you, and you kind of get to the first footing, kind of open area. It is effectively just a large platform that is around 25 to 30 feet, like small box room with open pipe on the left and a open pipe on the right as you kind of drop down, and immediately opposite you is another set of ladders down what has effectively been a dugout area of this like small section. You immediately, Edivir, see that again in Thieves' Cant is the same symbol you've just seen to that ladder, and you just all kind of move across and start making your way down another 35 feet ladder.
Anyone with dark vision that can see Kyria will probably notice that their pupils have basically vanished in the dark, and it's just pure blue.
Amazing. You all make your way down that second rung of ladders until you arrive at the lowest section that you can get to. As you all arrive in a part of the UC, or the Undercity, and for those of you at home and for some of you around the table, this is what you see, and this is what the UC is. Effectively, the UC, or the Undercity, is effectively that. It is a city under the city, very small. It is the slums, effectively. There is no natural light that comes into this area. The only light source within this area is that of torchlight and luminescent glow from buildings off in the distance that have luminescent neon signs on their shop fronts or, properties. the area in which that you are in is quite a bit off to the eastern side of the UC. You are on effectively one of the back walls, and around you at this point, and I think the biggest thing that hits you in first is the smell. Like, this is earth and damp, like, smell, like really musky, dirty smell, right? And you all kind of clamber down a ladder and effectively hit ground zero.
West John?
Yes.
Would I have, because right now Edivir is very concerned about going anywhere unprepared and under-equipped.
Mm-hmm.
Would I have, in the little hovel that I've sort of been staying in, or any other stashes around the UC, would I have left any kind of weapons or anything like that?
I think you will have left a little bit at the hovel you've stayed in, but that is on the complete opposite side of the UC from where you are. Right. Effectively, you have holed yourself up, for want of a better phrase, in a rundown shack on the far western side of the UC, and the reason you chose that location is it is effectively the least travelled area within the UC and
patrolled. Exactly,
yeah.
Okay. How long would it take us to get there versus getting to the mark?
To get to the mark would probably take you around half an hour, whereas to get to your hidey home, I'm going to call it, will probably take you about an hour and 15, hour and 20 to walk through.
Okay.
Effectively, the mark is right in the middle of the UC. Yeah. It is one of the most central places.
Okay. And final thing, and I assume others are probably going to want to do this as well. As soon as I get down and reach the landing platform, I'm going to try and get an essence of how active law enforcement is. If they're if they're stirred up into a frenzy, or if it's just seems to be normal patrols. Any whistles, stuff like that.
Okay, make me a perception check, please.
Harry is not looking for that at all.
Yeah,
I'll be listening out for that.
This is Liana. Liana's looking towards Timothy, in fact, to see if he looks like he can see.
Okay.
It's a bit better, slightly better lit once we're in the main bit, right?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool.
As you get more central within the UC, the brighter it comes. It is effectively, it's no longer dimly lit. So whoever's rolled perceptions, can you tell me what they are, please?
It's 16 from me.
Okay.
Just a 9 from me.
Okay.
25 for me.
25. Okay, Virgil, you would notice, as everybody else would, but this is the limit of what you would notice, is that although you're trying to pick out whistles, all of you that are listening out don't pick anything up. There's no whistles, there's no alarms going. If that's predominantly what you're listening out for, Virgil, that you don't hear that at all.
No.
Edivir, you would glean from this that it is business as usual down here. Nobody's raised any alarms. Nobody's on a manhunt for anybody down here. You've kind of... That's all surface level bullshit that you've just escaped, right? You're okay. Timothy, you, with that 25, would immediately pick up that not only is what I've just explained to Edivir and Virgil, but you would also pick up the sound of, like, very large chains and metallic objects being, like, dragged across a floor somewhere off in the distance towards the northern end of the UC. Like, really large chains, like, unmistakable sound of that. But it is very faint, but that's the sound. That is a sound that you pick up off in the distance. All of you see that in this area there is like planks that line the floor of walkways and like very rudimentary like pathways that have been put down. Like, we're talking like broken boxes that have been placed, and you know, bits of wooden board that have been put down to create walkways, and it's very like just whatever you can find put on the floor. It's a walkway type deal, right? But this is where you're all stood, at the foot of this ladder.
As we hit the floor, and Virgil sort of looks around, he's just going to sidle up next to Edivir and just go, all right, what's the SBC like down here? Are they thick? Are they in particular areas? What are we looking at?
Well, they've been coming down in greater numbers recently, but better down here than up there. Just as long as we avoid the patrols, they stick out like a sore thumb down there. It's not often you see butlers in slums.
Does anyone else hear the sound of heavy chains? It's a little bit disturbing.
Where?
I don't know. It's off that way. It's like
Dim.
chains and then metal.
Would I know that to be the docks?
You would, yeah. It's a very familiar noise to those who have been in the UC before. It is the large chains that are often attached to airships as they're being crafted so that they don't fucking float away.
Edivir just sort of looks at you curiously. You've got a good ear, kid. Might not be so useless after all. Look, this is the UC. You'll be able to lay low in the slums as long as you avoid patrols. There's plenty of hidey holes and hovels you can lay low in. Now, I don't know
where's the mark then? Where are we going?
I won't pretend that it wouldn't be nice to have some people backing me up when I walk back in there, but this ain't your business. If you need to go and clear your name or whatever it is, now's your chance.
And that can wait. We're friends now. Right?
Yeah,
We
friends.
escaped a prison transport vehicle together on a new adventure. Your friends who you don't actually know, but your soon-to-be friends, I'm sure, came and took us out. We go reunite with them. They help us sort this all out, and then I can go back home.
You have a really positive vibe.
I try.
I don't make friends that easily, and those certainly were not my friends.
And who were they? Why
You're
were they
not
looking for
saying
you?
that we're not. And they seem really smug with themselves. Like,
Can I insight check Kyriatos because she's trying too hard to be my friend, and
Sure, vibe check, please.
I'm trying to see if there's.
should I
any-
roll persuasion or deception?
It is up to you. I don't want you to tell. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do it a bit differently this time. If somebody makes an
baby.
insight check against you, you can roll either deception or persuasion, but you are not to say which.
I got a 22.
24.
So I just think you're literally just that kind of person.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't know who they are, then why did they save us? And they seem to look for you specifically, yet you don't know them. What's the deal?
A business agreement gone awry, put it that way. Kyriatos, wasn't it?
Yes. Kyria. Bit of a mouthful otherwise.
Dag. Just puts out his hand to shake yours.
Shakes it
And it's-
really emphatically.
Yeah, but it's better. He literally stays for like 2 shakes and then tries to pull his hand away. Like it's just very much like a courtesy, like and then
Yeah.
whatever. What about the rest of you?
Sophia. She again reaches out a paw.
Grips it. Goes for like a bit of a warrior's handshake, like a
Yeah.
wrist to wrist.
She accepts that.
And just carries on scanning across the crowd, probably to Virgil.
Fine. We are friends. Virgil.
Dag. And you, little one, with the good ear. What do we call you?
Timothy's fine. Pim if you want. But yeah, only Grandpa calls me Pim though. But you can if you want to, I guess. It's fine.
There's always Pim's o'clock somewhere.
Nice.
Wow.
Is your grandfather somewhere in the city?
No, he's back home.
All right.
Uh,
Well, look, like I said, I'd like to have a little bit of backup walking back in there, but you're under no obligation. We're out of the trouble now. You have things to attend to, or if you want to make a run for it, the docks are that way. If you want to lay low, slums are, well, everywhere.
They're going to struggle to get on the docks.
I don't know who you know.
That's true.
I need to get my things.
Where are your things, darling?
They took it.
Yes, I think they took all of our things. What things did I have?
Is it anything important?
Yeah.
Actually important, or is it just sentimental?
Liana is like proper scowling at you at that. It's just, yes, they took something important of mine too.
Well, if you want to go on a stealth infiltration mission of the stockade to retrieve your belongings, then we'll put that on the list. But for now, I don't think we're in much of a position to be asking back.
Yes, Dag is right. Impermanence is the name of the game. Nothing lasts forever. Let's move forward if we have to. Down here, so
we're going to Tanner.
We are.
So this mark might be able to help.
The Tanner's Mark. The only thing down here that could be described as a tavern.
I don't know what that is.
Never heard of it.
Of Tanner's Mark or a tavern?
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Tanner.
Yeah, I heard Tanner as well.
It's the Tanner's Mark, and it's a tavern.
Oh.
It's a name.
Tanner's Mark is the name.
Right. That was very unclear.
A little bit. I thought maybe they were an organization or something.
Sorry, I'm not. Don't worry about it, okay? You'll come to understand it. I'm not the best at explaining things. All you need to know is that they put me onto some really bad business that got me in trouble. And now they seem to have wanted to get me out of that trouble, which to me doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Why were you all locked up? I mean, I get that it's most likely probably all misunderstandings, but why
does anybody answer Pivot L at this point?
No.
He's standing like scout silence, like
immediately as that is asked, just immediately starts shooting a gaze round everyone.
Kyria does. Kyria goes, well, you see, I understand how it looked. Okay, you rock up to and begin digging in a grave with a bone saw covered in sinew and tissue, and it looks a bit questionable.
Did you say digging in a grave?
Yes.
Charlemagne.
Listen, I had explicit consent and instruction to do so. And he fucked off, so it's fine. I could have had my name cleared already, but the guy decided to vanish on me. So.
The guy, what the guy?
The guy you digged up?
No, the person who told me to dig up his family member.
Okay.
Why would the corpse leave?
I don't know.
Sometimes they do that.
I mean, we were talking just a second about what the Maker's Mark was, or the mark was.
Tanner's Mark.
Tanner's.
As you say that, Kyria, Virgil just mutters under his breath and goes, necromancy. Okay.
Do you say that in common?
I mean, it's very it's very much to himself. So if you're trying to pick it out, you may hear it, but it's up to you whether you do or not.
Would I hear it with a passive 16?
Yeah, would you?
I loosen my grip a little bit.
I'm not a necromancer. I'm a bone carver.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that later.
I don't have my business cards.
I was set up.
Because you were doing crime?
Well, not the crime they arrested me for, but...
No, so... Right.
At this point, are you all just stood where you are having this conversation, or do you...
I'm going to start
walk and talk.
guiding them through. And like as we're going, we're not just strolling along. I'm like sort of corner checking And like anytime we pass anyone, I'm sort of giving it a bit of a like stop talking kind of thing.
And you just hear like a clop, 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 clop.
As we're going,
Goats are following us.
As we're going, can I just look for any kind of discarded material? Just like anything I can just sort of cloak myself over or wrap around.
Liana's
as a scarf,
looking for that too.
Sure. Make me a perception check as you're going then, Edivir and Liana.
And the most flamboyant people just be like, yeah, this is us, let's go.
Okay.
Very unimpressed.
17.
17. Okay. You both see at the exact same time like a really dusty old blanket that's like moth bitten and shit, and you both kind of like at the same time put your hands on it. I'll allow you to tell me who picks this up at this point.
How big is it?
Oh, it's big enough for either of you. This is the point of this. Like you both kind of like put your hand and you paw on it, and both kind of like look at each other.
I'll just sort of look up at
That's my rag.
hulking, massive lion woman, and I'll just kind of.
That would be mine, thank you. As I just carry on to.
I'll grab one. I'll grab one top corner of it and cut down a strip about, like eight inches wide. And just use that kind of as a scarf to cover my face a bit.
Okay.
So it's like kind of up here, draped.
That's fine. No problem. So you both managed to get somewhat of a.
Yeah, I'm wrapping it. I'm doing like a sort of a snood sort of thing situation.
No problem. So you do so. You carefully maneuver your way through the UC until you get towards the most central point of the area. This section is the most well lit. It is the most, it's the busiest bit of the UC, so to speak. This is where a lot of the foot traffic is and what have you. And you step out onto the main thoroughfare. Immediately somebody kind of, Kyria, you see somebody kind of like steps almost in your space and steps around and goes, "Oh, pardon me, excuse me."
That's okay, don't worry.
None of you see that person, apart from Kyria. You just hear her just say that and just kind of like move and just.
I'm gonna kneel down and sort of bring Timothy up to the sort of front of the group overlooking this area and say, "Well, if you got good an ear as you got eyes, see any of the suits around? Or guards?"
I'll take a peek.
Yeah, make a perception check.
Have you seen SBC before? You know what they look like, right?
Yeah, I have. Guidance.
Sure.
That's another natural one. I'm gonna re-roll.
How are you rolling so many nat ones to re-roll? It's
Halfling.
ridiculous.
Oh, that means you'll never get a fumble table, bastard!
That's literally why you did it.
You were like fumble table. I was like halfling.
Joke, we're not all halflings, dude, right?
That's fine. We're okay.
That's 23.
23. You do not pick out any city guard. You don't pick out any SBC or anything with that.
Stick my nose out.
You don't smell any city guard or SBC.
Nothing. But it smells really bad here, though.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Edivir, you know that you're a few hundred yards from the Tanner's Mark at this point. But you would have to go through what is essentially the main section of the UC to get there.
Right, keep your heads down. Try to remain inconspicuous. And he sort of shoots a glance at Virgil and Sophia.
So Liana is looking. She's trying to make herself small, and anyone that has noticed, her tail has tucked up, like behind her and almost into her snood. It's like trying to make it like flat against her back. She is still looking around for what I sent you, and but yeah, she is just following Edivir, sees how he knows where he's going.
Okay, make me a perception check as you're walking through this area. Anything else anybody else wants to do? Virgil?
As he says, try to keep inconspicuous. Virgil just sort of looks in and goes, flicks his collar up, And
I'm gonna take my scarf off, which is for me it's quite a large scarf now that you probably see me fully. It's like green sort of green undercloth basically, or like cloth made shirt, a sort of very large tan scarf with a little pin on it, with some sort of symbols. It's almost like a text, and then I'm just gonna unlatch the pin, put it on my shirt, and I'm gonna hand you my scarf. You could use this if you want.
Hey.
Yeah.
He takes
No
all
offense,
two.
but-
He takes all 2 feet of material and sort of holds it out.
It's quite large. Like it's
4 feet.
I have it wrapped like twice, and
Yeah.
it's like
I mean,
It's a scarf.
imagine a human scarf, but there's a halfling underneath it.
Pim, was it?
Yeah.
Yes, it's. I appreciate the sentiment, but it'll suit you better. I don't do neutral colors, I'm afraid. Just wrap yourself up. You need the cover more than I do.
I'm just gonna look up at him.
He looks down. What?
do us a favour
Nothing.
and put on the scarf.
Nothing. And I'm just gonna wrap the scarf back in it.
I got 21.
21. As you are all doing this and walking through this main thoroughfare, you
Stealthily
spot.
trying to blend in.
That's fine. Liana, you do spot on a candle lamppost. You do spot what you're looking for. There is around 3 or 4 of them, like pasted on.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. You all stealthily, as naturally as you can, walk through this area. You all get the impression that nobody's really paying much attention to you. Edivir, it does strike you as completely normal for this area of the city, though you always kind of keep yourself to yourself.
I'm always like,
yeah. But you all kind of get the impression that nobody's like looking at you, nobody's staring at you walking through. People are used to like new faces and new people walking in and around this place. If anything, people kind of like looking up. Oh, they've wound up here too.
yeah.
Like in a way, it's always kind of a look of more people that have had to like because. And Kyria, you would know this probably more than like most, especially because you're from Winmere. You know that if people wind up in the UC, it means that they have nothing.
Yeah.
They effectively have nothing left in the world. Like they have no job, no income, no house, nothing. It could be.
Yeah.
It's like the people in here are down and out, destitute, really fucking poor, right? And or very unsavory types, the ones that don't want to go in the city because they do bad things.
Yeah.
So you were all walking through and you kind of, nobody really pays you much mind. A few people like kind of watch you go past, but not really with any intent or interest, just kind of as you would do if you're sat on a bench in a town centre and people watch, right? It's not as, it's just they see people coming and going. So nobody really catches you or catches your eyes being extremely interested in your presence. You all make your way through the main central hub of the UC or the Undercity until you get to the corner. And it is effectively a large tavern with the Tanner's Mark in neon blue lights above the door. A neon sign above it with a tankard with splashes of ale flickering, like the splashes are in neon and they're like flickering and stuff. It is quite a large building. The door to the entrance to it on the corner axis of the building, I think old Western styled saloon, right? You all approach the main door and you make your way.
well, I'll say to those guys as we get there, I'll say, well, this is it.
Is it this one?
Like I
Oh, I think
like I
just-
said, like I said, I don't know what I'm walking into here. So if you want to wait out here, I'll signal you if anything's going wrong or when it's safe to come in.
Will it help if we're behind you?
If I take my mask off and if I take my scarf off and put it on the table, that's the signal to come in. Or if I get stabbed.
Will we be able to see you from the outside?
There's windows, right?
Mm-hmm.
Us all peering at the window.
Maybe not all of you at the same time. But one of you keep an eye on it.
I can do that.
Can you reach the window?
Makes a good point, to be fair.
Try and reach.
You can reach. You're fine. You can, yeah.
I'm like,
I'll just sort of give a nod and walk in and then stop and just turn back and say, thanks. And
Okay.
Carry on going in.
It is a busy time of day. There is lots of folk within the Tanner's Mark, and you see only one familiar face, which is Tanner, the individual who owns the tavern behind the bar, and you clock his eyes and he clocks yours, essentially, but it's very much like a fleeting glance. Like, he kind of looks, clocks you, looks again, and then goes back to what he's doing.
I will walk up and sit at one end of the bar.
Okay. So as you walk through the main doors, you see on either side, effectively against the window, the walls on either side of the walls, there are booths along that area with tables jotted in around the main area. Towards the back left is the main bar, and there's a staircase going up the right-hand side at the far end. You kind of meander over to the left-hand side and walk towards the bar.
Yeah, and I'll sit at the end of the bar.
Okay. A moment or
Obviously,
two.
as long as I can still be seen from outside.
Yeah, you do so. And
I'll pop over my mouth.
yeah, Pimothy, you spot and you keep tracking an eye on where Edivir is. Tanner, after a moment or two of passing drinks out, goes over and goes, "Ah, new face in town. Welcome, weary traveler. You come from afar?"
I've come from quite close by, actually.
Oh, well, I'd love to hear the tale of your journey. What'll it be? An ale? You look like an ale drinker. 1 minute. I'll fetch you my finest.
A water, please.
Sure thing. Nobody likes daylight drinking. Course. Okay. I'll be with you in just a moment.
It's no fucking daylight down here.
So he goes and gets a glass of water and he goes, "Look, this one's on the house. I can't charge you for water. Hey, I'll be back with you in just a moment. I'd love to hear the tale of your day." And he puts the cup of water on the side. And as you do, you hear a clunk, like a metallic clunk on the bar at the same time. And as you look down towards the cup, where he's grabbed the cup, in between the bottom two fingers here is a key. As he drops that and drops the key on the bar and the cup on top of the key, looks you dead in the eyes and just shoots his eyes to the left and goes, "I'll be with you shortly. You get yourself comfortable."
I have some friends coming.
The more the merrier. We got plenty of room for all.
I'll go off and do his stuff.
And he
And I'll just
walks
sort of-
off at the bar again.
I'll have a very quick glance around the room to see if there's anyone I recognize from the bakery.
Sure. Make me a perception check. Timothy, you spot him take the scarf off and put it on the bar.
Natural 20 for a
Nice.
23.
Go in.
I'll come back to you in just a second then, Edivir. Timothy, yeah, you give the instruction to everyone else to go in.
Kyria has completely forgotten that they were meant to be waiting and has already begun to walk towards the door.
Got thirsty.
Okay. Nice. Timothy, you turn to say, "Oh, we can go in. Oh, we can.
Yeah, that's fine too. Okay.
You
Did a
all
good job.
walk in.
Timothy gives a slight smile because that's the first compliment that you've given him, apart from "get the kid." So he sort of starts to warm up a little bit.
Okay. You all
as-
walk in. and start making your way towards the bar, towards Edivir.
Well, as they enter the door, I'm going to get up from the bar and start heading towards the staircase.
So he didn't look towards the staircase up. He looked left. So not right towards the staircase. He looked left to the other end of the bar where there is a door.
Okay. So I'll get up and I'll just look over at them, but not really acknowledge them or anything like that. I'll just catch whoever's eye I can and just get up and walk through that door.
With that roll as well, the 20 for the perception, you don't spot anybody from the bakery. You do, however, spot the other individual who was at the bar when you first came, the one with the quite flamboyant cowboy hat that was kind of like stirring his drink with his finger and it's swirling. You see him at the bar and he kind of spots you, remembers you trying to make conversation with him last time, and just kind of like pulls his hat down on one side so in your like wherever you are, just like, oh, fucking this dude.
Cool. And I'll pick up my scarf from the bar as I leave as well.
And pick up the drink and the key.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course I had those already. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you see, the rest of you see that Edivir just kind of like starts walking off towards the left-hand side of the bar and towards a door. Opens the door and it's stairs down underneath. And you see Edivir just leaves the door open and starts walking down those stairs. Do you all follow?
Yes.
Kyria begins to walk towards the bar unless anybody stops.
Timothy's just going to try and slightly push you towards the left.
Oh, you guys. Yes. No, let's go.
Oh, you're here.
Okay. You all make your way down the stairs underneath the Tanner's Mark bar proper. As you get to the bottom of the stairs, there is essentially a cellar with loads of kegs of ale and crates of wine and crates of different bottles of liquid. And you see, as you get down in this dimly lit cellar, to the far end of the cellar is another door.
Okay. I'll just put the key in it.
Yep. It unlocks and you open and you step through into not a brightly lit but a well lit room that has sconces on the wall, a table, a few chairs, and if any of you, I mean, it looks like a back room of a tavern. You see there's cards on the table, a few poker chips, a couple of ashtrays, some dirty tavern mugs. It looks like this is where they hold like the after hours poker games and shit where people play for money and what have you, right? So you kind
is there no one in here right now?
Nobody's in there.
Are there any blades anywhere?
No, there is not.
Damn it.
But you all walk into this room and shut the door behind you. You are alone in this moment in this room together. Does anybody want to do anything?
Look. You followed me now. You followed me in here now, so you might as well know what you're in.
We're in a tavern, right?
In a manner
I
of
think it
speaking.
means the setup.
This Tanner, the governor of this place, he pointed me in the direction of a little bit of work. But that work didn't end up going down how it was supposed to. And I was set up. I don't know whether it was by him. I don't know whether it was by the people he sent me to. Whether it was by both. Or someone I don't even know about. I'm just here to get answers.
Presuming this is not on the up and up.
Not particularly. Depends what you consider the up and up. The law? No.
Okay.
So crime then.
Yeah.
What were you doing exactly?
Balancing the scales.
That's very ambiguous. What was the actual crime you were committing, Ed? Sorry. Gag. I can't remember what your name is. God, something. Dag. Thank you. I knew it was a range of
I'm
those
just going to
letters.
change it on. I'm just going to change it on what.
There we go.
I don't think that's important information right now.
No, I think it's mildly important information, seeing as we followed you down here on essentially goodwill because you seem to know where to go.
And I didn't ask you to.
Mm.
I don't really think getting into the specifics of our crime is important right now.
Why is that? Sorry, do you have worse?
Look,
Than balancing scales?
Sophia's right. This isn't the time nor the place to be hashing this stuff out. I don't know what's going to come through that door, so I'm just saying be ready for anything. Keep an eye on their hands. Don't trust anything they say.
Wonderful.
That's
I'm
a
gonna
good
take
rule
up
of thumb in general down here.
I'm going to take up a position at the back of the room so I can keep an eye on the door and just sort of lean up against. I'm not taking any of the seats. I'm just leaning up against the wall.
Okay. No
I'm standing next to Sophia because I want to be next to the big thing that can move into the way of things that will get in the way of me.
Next to my shield.
Yep.
Here she is.
Yes.
Nice.
Welcome to my old position.
Nice. Timothy, what are you doing?
Is there anywhere to hide?
Not especially, no.
For a 2
You can get under the table, I suppose, but...
What I'll do is, so do you see it was like booths or chairs? Sorry.
Chairs, it's a round table with
Okay.
chairs around it. It's essentially a poker table, right?
What I'll
just
do
one.
is
Mhm.
I will guide Timothy to kind of be sitting next to me, and I'll gesture for Dag to sit on the other side.
Okay.
So we're blocking him from direct contact.
Oh, I thought it was just two parents with their kids at a table.
Or that.
Yeah. So, one and the same thing.
It's a parent teacher conference.
Dag stays standing, arms crossed, leaning against the wall.
Okay.
Right, never mind. You can hide under my legs if you want.
Okay. Crawl under.
Okay. A few moments pass, and the door handle starts to turn and opens slowly.
Reach for my dagger.
The individual that walks in is Tanner. As he steps in and shuts the door behind and goes, "Well, a lot more than I was expecting."
Heard
Are
any
you-
interesting news lately, Tanner?
The worst, actually. Yeah. Here I owe you an apology. Word got out that... Look, if I'd have known, I'd have never put you on that, like, trail. Look, you asked if there was work. That's the only lead I had. What you see is, you see a rather burly, 6'4", stocky bloke, like hairy arms, hairy knuckle, like proper fucking like lumberjack looking mofo, but he's huge, like massive broad shoulders. Like he is wearing essentially a very beaten up vest top, and kind of has like a cigar hanging out the corner of his gob, and like a mop of brown hair that's tattered off to, like, he's tried to effectively done a comb over but hasn't got a comb, so it's just like kind of fucking shimmied it with his hands a little bit, like looks a little rough, and he just turns and says, like, "Look, I owe you an apology, but as soon as
You owe
I
me a lot fucking more than that.
Well, how is your freedom? It's better than the noose you were heading for, right? Oh, you're welcome, by the way."
Oh, that was you. Oh, thank you so much. I genuinely appreciate it. That was a bit of a pickle.
You're more than welcome. I didn't Look, I didn't expect all of you. It was him I owed, not you lot. Who are you?
Kyria? Kyria Amantase, you might know my mother's. Artful Lodger?
Oh.
Hi.
Hey, you. And the rest of you?
The ones that got dragged into this mess as well. That is who we are.
Is that your first name or your last?
Drag is my first, but only on the weekends.
Yeah, I bet. And looks towards you, Leanna goes, and you. I did not expect to see you here. What in the... What? I mean, I heard stories, but hey, you, I mean, hey, look.
You two know each
She's
other?
looking around wildly.
You don't? You don't know her?
Ooh.
Come on. You've been in the city a while, right? You don't know... No, none of you. Oh, well.
Now that I've been prompted to remember, do I remember anything?
No. Look, Kyria, it's you. No, you wouldn't. Like, no.
Quite right.
You know you wouldn't. It's you. No.
Like
Like,
your neighbour, you would not know.
yeah. You could literally be the person you buy bread off every day, and you'd be like, you'd have no clue. Yeah,
Can I try and make a check just to see if I've seen anything?
You can. Make me a history check.
Oh, intelligence.
In all my
That's what I'm
life.
about.
Yeah.
God,
You can,
shit.
Kyria, you can make one with disadvantage.
Okay, that's good.
2 for a 5.
Cool. Yeah. As I said, you don't. Yeah, it tracks. You're just like. And that kind of niggling feeling that you feel all the time, where you're like, oh, I need to remember something. I know there's something I need to remember.
And then all of a sudden you just see Kyria look down at their hands and just start hyperfixating on all of the bits of string on there.
Oh, the forget-me-nots. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, essentially. Virgil, what did you get?
21.
21. There is something extremely familiar now that it's been pointed out, but you can't quite place what. And he goes, well, hey, look, nevertheless. You're all here now. You gonna come out from under there?
Don't worry about him. I was up here.
It's kind of shifty. You do someone a favor and they kind of hide away. Look, you got nothing to fear from me. I'm here to help.
And
Maybe.
Inside check. I'm not trusting anybody right now.
I'm sensing a
It was
theme.
coming. It was coming.
Sure. Roll me an insight check. What did you say, Eddie?
Not 20.
I just said it was coming. Nice.
That's a 26.
He does not seem to be lying to you at all.
Okay, I'll hop out
You-
and go, hi, I'm
Hey.
Timothy.
Nice to meet you, Pimothy. For those of you that don't know, my name's Tanner. I'm the owner of this here establishment that you're in the basement of. I figured it's... Look, we couldn't have this conversation out there. I don't want any ties or else come back to me, but I'm here to help. I wasn't expecting that to help all of you, but...
Speaking of things coming back to you, you
Yeah.
expect me to believe that you, one who can spring prisoners from the SPC convoy, was not so connected to know as who you were getting work for and what that work entailed.
Look, if you believe everything that everybody says, then you're a fool, right? So no, I didn't believe everything I heard. Am I a man with certain capabilities in time of need? Yes. Did I know what you were getting yourself into? No. Not my place to ask questions and... Look, you asked me if I had any leads on any work and any potential leads. You made the choice to go ahead with the job. Am I wrong in anything I've said at this point? There we go. When I heard that it went wrong, and when I heard what went wrong, and that you got yourself tied up in it, what did I do? Oh yeah, that's right. Busted your fucking ass out of jail. Or there or thereabouts.
What was the other explosion? What crime was I set up for?
Yeah, that's a long story.
Wait, you exploded something?
That's not for me to say. Look, I'm here to help. You guys, I was not expecting you four here. You, however, I made a room available and kicked out the person in it. I figured you might need a safe place to put your head for a couple of days. And look, I've been making some inroads. I've been trying to put the word out on what our next steps would be, but I haven't heard anything back yet, so you may be here for a couple of days before I can put things in place. You're welcome to stay, but I don't have another room, so you'll have to all stay in the same one. But it's up to you. If you want to get out of here, then go. I've done my bit. I'm free. As free as I can make you, at least.
Just doesn't add up.
I would need to get my stuff that they took from me.
Oh, yeah, you probably ain't seen that again.
No,
It's...
but I really, really, really have to. Like, really have to.
Do you... Well, is it life and death? Because if you go back there, it's probably going to end up in life imprisonment or death.
Yep.
You
got all bases covered there.
Listen, if we clear our names first, then we can go back and request the stuff properly. So it might just be a little wait until you're able to get your stuff back. Is there anything I could do to help in the meantime?
You haven't perhaps seen any druids, have you?
Do I know of any druids?
You'll have come across plenty in your time within the city, but whether you remember any is another thing entirely.
They're the nature ones, right?
They're like me.
What you did with the tree. Yes. There are some around. Yes.
All right. That's good. Good place to start.
Maybe not down here.
Clearly, my friends here are eager to get to their own business. So how about you tell me from whence you received the information about this job, and I will inquire with them.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. Because where that is somewhere that you probably shouldn't be going immediately. Not right away, but hey, who am I to tell you what to do? You know where to find him.
And for those of us not in the know, where do we find him?
The bakery.
And as much as I would love a, cinnamon roll right now, trust me, what's the bakery about?
Well, it's not really a bakery. It's more of a front for a group of folk that do things that,
illegal. I get
they
that.
probably shouldn't. Illegal is a strong term. And what they did up there a few days ago is definitely illegal. But hey, haven't you all just been arrested for something like that? You didn't just happen yourself inside the back of a cart, armed to the teeth with city
it was an
guard.
accident.
Look, I don't care. I sent friends of mine to bust him out. Wasn't anticipating you guys coming here.
So you're saying Burhund is the one behind this? That two-bit gangster?
Well, what happened to you, sure, but what happened to them, I have no clue. But look, you're all here now. My advice to you is let's not rear your heads for a couple of days. Let me see what I can do. I have friends in... When I use the term high places, it's typically the city above, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like, people with influence, and I might have a couple of people that owe me some favors, and by doing those favors, we might be able to clear names. Might being the key word here. But it ain't up to me. All I can do is put you in the same room as them, and then what happens next is on you. All I've got is a room for a couple of days. Beyond that, you're on your own, folks. But I'll give you a couple of days, because that's how long it'll give me to put this whole thing together.
And you're doing this all out of the grace of your own heart?
No, not out of the grace of my own heart, because I'm fucking guilt-ridden, obviously. You didn't deserve to be locked up. That's not what you were doing, was it? But you did. And, well, I don't know what you folk did, but if you need help, then sure. Out of the goodness of my heart.
I'll take a mite.
I want to say thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Can I have a word in private before you disappear?
Yeah, sure. Look, you guys hungry? You don't look like you've had a good meal in a few days.
No,
Yeah, that porridge was
Order a
really
slice of
awful.
pizza.
Do you have any pomegranate?
I'm just gonna take that as a yes. Sure.
Grapefruit will do.
I will bring what I can. You just make yourself
Tangerine.
comfortable. You're just naming fruits now. I get it.
Apple.
Yep. Look, just stay here for now. You'll be able to come back upstairs in a little while, but just in case there's anyone come down looking for you, this is the safest place for you, so just stay here. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll bring some food, some drink, relax, just take a minute, alright? I'll be back. You wanna talk?
Yeah, so I'm gonna follow him out to the barrel room that we went into.
The cellar, yeah, so he walks out and leaves
But
the
I
other
do
four.
close the door behind me.
Mm-hmm.
As I hear the door close, I am instantly up the fucking stairs with my ear against the door. Because I recognize this person for some reason and I want to find out why they need to talk in private.
Okay, sure.
Well, first of all, thank you for the help. I don't think I would have got life in prison.
Nope. I do not think that was on the docket for you.
No.
You really, put a paw in it, huh?
Yeah, I definitely fucked up. I wanted to just... my opponent, Damon, you haven't heard that they did anything to him?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you, I'm sorry.
He hasn't been seen since then, I guess.
Not that I know. I can put word out, see if I can find out. But hey, they don't know you? That surprises me. Everybody knows you.
I mean, it was a shock to me too. I thought I was a bigger deal. And she kind of slaps him on the back.
You kind of see him kind of go, ugh! Yeah. Oh. Look,
Do you need a hand with that food? I'm really starving. I haven't eaten.
Oh, I got it. Look, I gotta go upstairs for it, and I don't think you want to be poking your head up there for a little while, at least for a few hours. Let the dust settle. I'll be back. You just make yourselves at home, all right? Lock the door. I'll knock. 3 knocks. You'll know it's me.
Okay. As she does, she opens the door. Is there any resistance to this door?
Oh no! So as you open it, Virgil just kind of goes, "Oh."
Does it open in or out?
Out from you, out. Cool. Yeah.
So I just open the door.
Yeah, pretty much, and he's just sort of stood, sort of leaning against the wall.
Did you need to use the restroom or something?
No, not at all. I was just trying to place things in my mind. That's all. Don't you worry, Sophia. It's nothing you need to worry about.
So, how was it digging up graves? That must have been very strange.
I lock the door behind me and go down the stairs.
No problem.
Like, is that something you do?
Well, yeah, sometimes I have to. So my kind of side job, as it were, it's just a little thing I like to do. My thinking was, life is just so great that why not, for those who've moved on, make sure that their life is contained within the memory of their body. So I carve their stories into their bones, and sometimes it's a bit of a side gig, not particularly, legal, but sometimes people get in touch, like that individual who I can't remember his name. Did he give me a name? He appeared, I think. And then I was there with my little bone kit, and I realised I hadn't cleaned the bone saw since last time, so it probably looked a bit bad, but I hadn't even dug the grave. I just, had a little trowel. I was just... And people assume what they're going to assume. I'm going to rob them. I don't need to rob anyone. I just wanted to take their bones to carve them.
Edivir, who is now literally just lying on the floor on his back with just like his arms folded on his chest, you just hear him say, I don't usually like people who are so loose-lipped, so it's reassuring that you're so forgetful. Dag.
Dag. Sorry, yes. Dag? Timothy?
Almost. Timothy.
I will take that as a win. That is good for me. That is very good for me. Clearly made an impression. Listen, nobody take it personally, okay? It's been birthday.
It's been birthday.
Birthday. And I'm looking on my wrist, all of a sudden having this random memory of being gifted a bracelet to help with this type of shit.
It is not.
You looking for something?
Yes, I think I got. Yes, Moore and Essen gave me a gift to help because it was my birthday.
When did we start talking about your birthday?
Memory.
Right.
So you have a hard time remembering stuff, and
Yes.
they gave you a gift to help?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
And I did this thing where I was trying to remember how old I was, and it glowed. Like when I was closer to the truth, to what was real.
That's neat.
Edward sort of sits up at this point on the floor and just turns to sort of start listening to this conversation.
And you blew something up.
Well, no, quite disappointingly.
You
was
wanted
asked
to blow
to.
something up?
I was asked to. You see, that's something of a speciality of mine. But before I could carry out the task, someone else beat me to it.
Oh.
And the SBC were there waiting.
Yeah, they are quite rough, those types of people.
They're stupid.
They're not stupid. They were there waiting for me. They knew what was going to happen. They're not just rough. Something's not right about them.
I stroll into the room.
That would explain why they weren't listening.
Your follow's not too far behind.
They didn't listen to me either. I kept talking to them and trying to tell them that if they found the other guy who instructed me to do that, they would know that I had permission.
My advice would be don't talk to cops.
I agree with him.
Oh,
So that might be
God's
hard.
sake.
Do they really count as cops? They're just tossed in
As far as I'm
suits.
concerned. What's the difference?
Nice suits.
Yeah, could be better. Suit.
So, and
Birthday
you're
suits?
famous?
They're just staring to go suit, 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 suit.
And you're famous, Sophia?
Okay. I'm not. He just mistook me for someone else.
No, he didn't. He definitely knows who you are. You are famous, Sophia, for some reason or another. I can't quite place why, but I've seen you before. Maybe not in person, but I know you for some reason. It's not just a misunderstanding, so don't try and play the innocent. None of us here are,
I am innocent.
apparently.
Ish.
There we
It
go.
was a mistake. I promise. I would
It's
never
my
do
fault.
anything like that intentionally.
What did you do, sweetheart?
What did you do?
What
You
were
can
you
see
accused of doing?
Leanna kind of just like sinks back to her wall, glad that the intention's off her.
the
Just-
conversation has moved on.
Timothy's immediately going inside of himself and not talking. He's like,
Oh,
did a bad thing.
I regret the thing I did.
As you are all sat around the table or around the room having this conversation, it is immediately interrupted with the sound of crashing and banging above and clambering and chairs breaking, tables smashing, bottles cracking, and the sound of screams.
Timothy, hide. And she takes her battle stance, coming to the door.
You don't hear anything immediately outside the door.
She's waiting.
Can I stealthily go up to the door and like try and open the door to see if there's anything like coming, like if there's anyone trying to beat down the door at the top of the stairs or anything?
Nope, nothing like that. And you hear screams of pain, cries, like fearful cries, fearful screams, the clattering of stuff in the vicinity of the room above you. You hear Tanner going, "No, get out!"
Sorry, say that again.
No, get out.
I'm going to take the kazoo out, blow on it, and I'm going to brr, and point upwards and send a message to Tanner.
Yeah.
What's going on? Need assistance?
You hear him just in your head cry for help.
This ain't City Watch or SPC. This is something else.
I think we should help.
You
still don't trust him, but I think you're right. For now, all we know is that he saved us.
I unlock the door. Oh, it's already unlocked. He's peeking out of it.
Yep.
I'm making my way towards the stairs.
Okay.
I'll let Liana go first.
I kind of presumed.
Do you all follow?
Yep.
Yeah.
Blast out the door.
Sure.
I will hide Timothy behind me.
Okay, you all race to the base of the stairs, and Liana, you run up, and you all run up the stairs behind her and into the main room as you see 4 or 5 individuals going and just beating the shit out of people in every corner of the room. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Yeah. Let's go!
Let's go beat up some crackheads!
Can we do like,
It's the war
can we do
against drugs.
2 more hours?
No, we cannot do 2 more hours. We'll have to wait until next week. But that is where we're going to end tonight's session. I just want to say a massive thank you to you guys for coming back and playing with me.
It's been a pleasure. And very different. Like, everybody's changed role. It's so good.
It's so cool. A massive thank you to everyone at home for stepping in and joining us on the start of this adventure. We love you all dearly. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you've all enjoyed it. You've met new players. We're in a new environment. It's going to be great. We'll be back next Tuesday at 6 p.m. for more of Aerilon, A Destined Journey. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.
Thank you to our sponsors as well.
Yes, thank you, sponsors.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.